Whoa! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Julius van Bluevezen, and once again we finally return to Tsukihime. Oh, wow. So yes, we'll probably only read about, like, one day today, maybe? We'll see how we go. But I'm going to probably do streams in 1 or 2 days. Like lengths in the game. You know what I mean. So, but yes, welcome. I will start getting started. Load Game. There we go. Beautiful. Let's continue. Oh. Day 6. Cerulean Stigma. Wow. I got my drink to hydrate. I got everything. We're gonna be poggers. Let's go. The gentle rays of the sun dispel my sleepiness. Although my eyes remain closed, I can feel the serenity of my surroundings seep into every pore. The air is moderately cool, yet gentle. Somehow, it feels like the sky today is clearer than it's ever been. In that case, I should get up and go to school. Bruh, you just killed a vampire dude and broke all your bones or something. What do you mean go to school? What the f... After all, I've been so beset by misfortune these past 2 days, I almost forgot I was still a student. I don't know if you can do that, bro. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the bed. My glasses are on the nightstand. Acting on autopilot, I put them on and let my gaze wander. The sunlight streaming through the window is so vibrant that I can almost hear it calling me outside. I take a deep breath and savor the fresh air. Oh, right. It's Sunday. There's no school. The hands of the clock make a ticking sound. I can hear little birds chirping outside. Ah, I'm back. It's a morning just like any other, but now it feels exceptionally pure. Oh. I don't feel this way because I'm alive or because I was able to do something about that vampire. I'm thankful because I was able to go back to my normal life after going through that extraordinary event. Thankful that I can happily enjoy a morning like this. There is no greater reward for an insignificant person such as myself.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Oh.
Shiki-sama.
Hello. Oh. I reflexively snap bolt upright. I look over and see Hisui, standing at attention in front of the door.
Hisui.
Eh?
申し訳ありません。
No problem.
シキ様がなかなかお気づきになられませんので、こちらから声をおかけしたのですが。
いや、こっちこそごめん。
She startled me. I've only just woken up and already my heart is pounding.
あれ、まだ7時前だけど。
はい。シキ様のお目覚めには少しばかり早い時間です。
だよね。じゃあ翡翠は何をしに来たんだ？
シキ様を起こしに参りました。秋葉様からここ2日間の事情を説明してもらいますので、テコを使ってでも連れてくるように、とことづかっております。
We're in trouble. Akiha, the past 2 days? Explain? These cryptic words fly around inside my brain. Resisting the temptation to abandon my train of thought, I take 10 seconds to piece things together. Now that I think about it, or rather, no matter how much I consider it, there's no way I can explain the events of the past 2 days. Absence without official leave, violation of curfew, and to top it off, complete lack of communication. Akiha is scary enough when I don't come home before dusk. I shudder to think what kind of face she's making right now.
あのさ、翡翠、控えめに言って、秋葉のやつ、怒ってる。
さあ、どうでしょう。
Oh!
それは四季様が
Uh-oh.
直にお確かめください。
I think that means yes. Okay. Isui's tone also comes off as somewhat cold and dispassionate. If this is how it's gonna be, I should have returned to the mansion even if I had to... Yeah, I should have returned to the mansion even if I had to crawl. Even if I... had to crawl?
いや、ちょっと待った。
Yeah, how did you get back here? What the fuck?
それ以前に、なんで部屋で眠ってるんだ？
四季様は昨夜の午前2時過ぎにお帰りになられました。玄関口で眠っていたのを姉さんが気づいて、お部屋にお連れしたとのことです。
My mouth hangs wide open. Going home late at night after total radio silence. Falling asleep in the entryway after being unable to make it to my room. I'm like some feral drunk who missed the last train.
あいつ、人を猫か何かと一緒にしやがって。
Arcueid's face springs to mind. Well, I guess I should at least be grateful that she carried me as far as the doorway. In any case, I understand the situation now.
すぐに行くから、アキハにはできるだけ落ち着くように言っておいてくれると嬉しいんだけど。
申し訳ありません。それは諸事情によりお断りいたします。
Why? Isui replies firmly. It's clear to see that my standing within a tone of... Blah, blah, blah. I need a drink. One sec. It's clear to see that my standing with the Tono household has plummeted to the lowest of the lumpen. Since Akiha is the head of the mansion, it's no surprise I have no allies when she's upset. That being said, I should get up. It's no use staying in bed forever. Ouch! As soon as I stand up, a tearing pain races through my legs. So that's how it is. If I were to ask myself what I should be surprised about, it would be the fact that I'm still alive. After doing all those crazy things, of course greeting a morning like this feels unnatural.
四季様、いかがなされましたか？
No.
その、
My legs are
汗が
broken.
すごく
A copious amount of sweat is forming on my forehead. It seems that just the pain of trying to walk is enough to cause my body to react like this.
お体の調子が優れないのでしたら、もうしばらくお休みになられた方がよろしいのではないで
I
し
don't
ょ
know
うか。
if rest can fix this.
先ほどはああ申しましたが、秋葉様には私から。
いや、大丈夫。ただの捻挫だ。すぐに収まるよ。それより、秋葉の方が怖い。先延ばしにしたら余計に怒られそうだ。
Sui's eyes are full of reproach, as if asking me not to tell lies. However, due to her position, she cannot press me about it. I'm really sorry, but right now I have no choice but to rely on this obvious subterfuge to make you agree.
着替えたらロビーに行くよ。すぐに済ませるから、廊下で待っていてくれ。
かしこまりました。どうかご無理はなさいませんようお願いします。
Okay, okay. Isui bows deeply and leaves the room. I change out of my pajamas and into some casual clothes, trying to move my body as little as possible. My first weekend at home after 7 years away is already off to a rocky start. Right, still the first week that he's back. Bruh. Isui's waiting for me in the hallway. The pain in my left leg is enough to make me want to scream with every step. Although my entire body feels heavy, it's only a slight muscle ache. It's not actually all that painful. I felt around with my hands to confirm, but it seems that the cuts I received on my cheeks and shoulders from Vlov's ice shards have completely healed. The unnatural lack of any scars make it clear that this is Arcueid's handiwork. She did say that she would treat me after all.
四季様、
うん。
差し出がましいこととは存じますが、
ん
こちらをお使いください。
Did you get me one of the sticky things? There it is, a rod.
So he timidly presents a long, narrow rod. It's a cane. No, a crutch.
よくあったね。
Yeah, that's what you need.
はい。以前、用具室で見た覚えがありましたので、一縷の望みをかけて探してまいりました。
Sliver of hope is a bit of an exaggeration. I smiled at the turn of phrase before noticing that Hisui's breathing is a little elevated. She must have hurried to fetch it during the small time window while I was changing.
ありがとう。正直、歩くたびにかかとから飛び上がりそうだったんだ。すごく助かる。
Thank you, thank you.
はい。お役に立てたのなら幸いです。
I shift the weight of my body off to my left leg and onto my left hand through the crutch. With this, I can walk without issue. I thank Hisui once again for her thoughtfulness, and together we head for the lobby. Oh. Well, we've arrived. I lean the crutch up against the wall beside the door. Straight ahead on the other side of this door is the head of the Tono family, Akiya-sama. She may be a year younger, yet now she impatiently lies in wait for her pitiful older brother to make his excuse to her. I may as well be entering hell itself. No, complaining won't solve anything. These are the consequences of my own actions. Regardless of the circumstances, I was absent from school without permission for 1 day and didn't return home for 2. It's no wonder Akiha demands an explanation. In this situation, I should...
Oh, we got it. We gotta shave.
1 second.
Shave, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, I tell her the truth, try to fool her, or apologize sincerely. Just tell her the truth. Fuck it, why?
Just don't lie. Just say what happened.
Of course. I should just tell her the truth. I don't want to deceive Akiha. And there's no way I'd be able to sneak some half-baked lie past her even if I tried. Yep, honestly, Yep, honesty is the best policy, after all. I'm sure Akiha will understand if I earnestly explain all the details to her. I was a little panicked before, but I've come to my senses.
よし。行くぞ。
Oh. The way he said that, what the fuck?
Huge.
Okay. From here on, it's all about freaking guts. I take a deep breath and open the door to the living room.
Hello?
おはようございます。
I beat a vampire up.
不思議と、ずいぶん久しぶりな気が。
や、おはよう、アキハ。
I deflect Akiha's I am angry scowl with my smiling face, plus 50 defense, and take a seat across from her. My heel hurts a lot, but I just grin and bear it.
部屋では言いそびれちゃったけど、翡翠もおはよう。
Yeah, we forgot to say that.
さっきはありがとう。
Mhm.
これからも頼りにするよ。
I also express my gratitude to Hisui, who is standing at attention by the wall. I would have thought that deciding to be upfront about everything would lead to such a perfect morning gambit. I better make a note of this.
ずいぶんとご機嫌のようですね。
No, not really. My bones are broken.
てっきりここ数日の素行の悪さを反省し萎縮していらっしゃると思ったのですが。
もちろん反省はしている。自覚あるからね。けどそれと上機嫌なのは別の話。単に朝からアキハの顔を見られて嬉しいだけだよ。
Dang, she's caught. Akiha freezes like a statue. Crap. Did I upset her? I see. It seems that being too honest is also problematic. I'd better update my notes. Oh no.
明葉様。なんでもないわ、翡翠。ですが、今のはいい声かけでした。
After clearing her throat, Akiha exhales deeply and composes herself.
兄さん、言っておきますが、そんな気持ちのこもった言葉ではごまかされません。
I'ma tell you the whole truth. You don't worry about it.
こもってるんだ。
こもっていない言葉ではごまかされません。私が聞きたいのは、ここ2日間どこで何をなさっていたのかという報告です。
Yep. Well, I killed a vampire and I made friends with a that's it.
それなんだけど、アキハ。
ええ。どんな言い訳をしてくださるのかしら。
What is that? What is that stare? She's like, oh, sussy.
話すと長いから簡潔に説明する。俺はこの2日間、吸血鬼を退治していたんだ。
Yep.
宗谷で連続殺人が起きているのは知ってるだろう。その犯人が吸血鬼だったんだけど、偶然知り合ったいい吸血鬼に助けられてさ。
I killed a vampire, but there was also a good vampire. That one was kind of epic.
そのままなし崩しでそいつ
she's
に
not
協
gonna
力
believe
して、
anything you're fucking
悪い
saying.
吸血鬼と戦ったんだよ。
Oh my god.
It's true. Trust me.
Akiha is utterly motionless. It's only to be expected. I can easily imagine her yelling.
バカにしてるんですか、兄さんは。
Uh-oh.
It's something like that any moment now. But there was no other way to say it. It's unfortunate, but it's clear she won't believe me. I'll just accept my title as the brother who makes terrible excuses. On a scale from 0 to upset, Akiha definitely seems angry, but she isn't saying anything.
もしもし、アキハ。
No.
兄さん、
Mm.
今のは、タチの悪い冗談ですか？
Nope.
In complete silence, Akiha peers through my heart with her gaze.
いや、冗談じゃなくて。
冗談。
No.
でしょ？
No, it's not.
まあ、そう取られても仕方がないけど。
She's so adamant about it that I end up agreeing with her.
結構です。ですが、今後は冗談だとしても、
It's not a
そのような
joke.
暴言は口にしないでください。
I really did meet a vampire, and then she was beautiful, and then we beat one up. Why don't you believe me?
どこに親族の聞き耳があるとも限りません。当の式は、遠野家の長男にはふさわしくないという風説なんて、私は聞きたくありませんので。
Akiha is neither angry nor disappointed. Though her gaze may be cold, I can tell she's looking out for me. Just then, that was... how should I put it? A pure and earnest desire, as steadfast as if it were made of steel.
ごめん、今のは忘れてくれ。俺も悪ふざけが過ぎた。
いいでしょう。この件に関して、これ以上の追及はいたしません。連絡をいただけなかった点については、私にも落ち度がありますから。
落ち度なんて、そんなのアキハにないだろ。
携帯電話を取り上げたのは私です。
Oh, that's true. Yep. Yeah, it's all your fault.
No, it's fine.
あれがあれば、ズボラな兄さんでも連絡ぐらいはしたのではありませんか？
Well, no, but actually, my phone has already been surreptitiously returned.
ですが
Dang.
それも今回だけです。今後はこのようなことは控えてください。兄さんは遠野家の唯一の男性なんですから、もう少しご自分の立場を理解していただかないと困ります。良くない外聞が広まってしまったら、遠野家の今後の人付き合いにも影響がありますし。
Future networking? Does she mean between me and some other prestigious family?
いやー、それこそ問題ないだろう。俺が何しようと興味も持たないって、あっちの方々は。だいたい遠野の跡取りは秋葉なんだから、家のことを思うなら俺をよそに出すなり、遠野の家にふさわしい婿養子でも見つければいいのに。
This is true.
Aki has fallen silent for some reason.
どうした？気分でも悪いのか、秋葉。
結構です。私を気遣う余裕があるので慢性的な貧血持ちなんですから、兄さんは。
She's right. I do collapse from anemia rather frequently.
ともかく、あまりお一人で屋敷を出ないでください。そうでなくとも、近頃の町は物騒なんです。兄さんみたいにぼーっとしている人は、通り魔に襲ってくださいと言っているようなものなんですから。
No, but I killed that guy.
それなら大丈夫。あんな事件、二度と起きないよ。
The serial killings that had the city in an uproar. The culprit that the news referred to as the modern-day vampire. His whereabouts and identity still unknown, even to this day. The shadow of the night that menaces the people of Soya. However, all of that is now in the past.
吸血鬼はいないってことだよ。その犯人はもう捕まったんだ。
そうなんですか？それは良い知らせですが。兄さん、よくそんなことを知っていますね。
Maybe I do.
ああ、たまたま逮捕現場に居合わせたというか。
I laugh at the ridiculousness of my own statement. I suppose it really was all just a series of coincidences. The 2 days I spent with Arcueid, so much happened that even now it feels like it was all a dream. But at least the monster that had been nesting in the city is gone. On that point at least, I think I can say with pride that everything is taken care of. I'm sure there's more other, like,
どうしたんです？
vampires.
急に嬉しそうな顔をして。
Nope.
別に何でもない。ただ終わったんだなってようやく実
Yeah, it's
感で
probably
きた。
not all over. With a smile on my face, I unthinkably let those words slip out. It seems that this explanation was enough for Akia. I thank her and stand up.
いや、安心したらお腹が減ってきた。朝食をもらってきてもいい？
私に許可を求める必要はありません。朝食まで管理する気はありませんからご自由にとってください。琥珀なら厨房で朝食の支度をしているでしょうし。
サンキュー。じゃあ遠慮なく。
Food.
I start walking towards the doorway. As expected, my left leg still hurts.
お待ちなさい、兄さん。先ほどから気になっていましたが、今のではっきりしました。
Yes.
足を怪我していますね。
いや、これは捻挫というか筋を違えたというか、とにかく大した怪我じゃないんで気にしないでくれ。
そうですか。大したことはないと。
Yep.
Akia strides over to me purposely. Then, without hesitating, she makes eye contact and casually... Don't you kick the leg, please. She stumps right on the most swollen part of my left foot. Her aim is so accurate that you'd think she had a sixth sense for locating injuries.
あら、びっくり。兄さんのポーカーフェイスも 直接的な痛みには脆い
Yeah,
の
that
です
fucking
ね。
hurt. Oh my god.
そりゃ弱いよっていうか俺の方がびっくりだよ。お前分かっててやっただろ。
誤解ですわ。大した怪我がないという兄さんの言を信じて精一杯の勇気で試してみただけですもの。
My demonic sister smiles gracefully as she giggles. What the hell? Could she be any more transparent? This is clearly payback for me not telling her what I was doing. Man. That would fucking hurt. Ow. Acting as though nothing had happened, yet with a new spring in her step, Akiha returns to the sofa and elegantly sips her tea.
さて、確かに大した怪我ではなかったけど、放っておくのも良くないわね。兄さん、課長として命じます。朝食が済み次第、診察を受けるように。怪我の理由はともかく、大げさに痛がられるのは迷惑ですから。
そりゃ診察は受けたいけど、怪我の理由聞かなくていいのか。
興味ありません。どうせくだらない理由でしょうから。だいたい聞いたところで私には内緒なんでしょ、兄さんは。
A blunt reply from the head of the family.
外傷のない捻挫なら琥珀でも対応できます。あ、そっか。今朝は荒木先生もいましたね。
No.
あの人はもともと外科の医師です。内科の琥珀と外科の荒木先生。お好
Why
き
do I
な
have
方
to
を選ん
choose?
でください。
Oh no. Oh no. What an unexpected turn of events. Look, I think this is much more serious than they're playing it off. I should probably go to the surgeon just to see what's going on.
Yep, I have Professor Arak take care of me.
I'll have Professor Arak take care of me. I still don't know what kind of person she is, but since she wears a white lab coat, I'm pretty sure that she's a doctor.
It doesn't work like that.
わかりました。荒木先生には私から伝えておきますので、
Oh no.
あとは自室で待機していて
Oh
ください。
no.
荒木先生は予想のつかない方ですが、医師としての腕は確かです。ここで暮らすのなら頻繁に会う人ですし、これを機に親睦を深めてください。
Okay.
Akiha's voice is matter of fact. It's as though she were simply delivering a message. Now then, my first priority is breakfast. Once that's dealt with, I'll go and get myself looked at. I pass the time in my room by idly leafing through some paperbacks. A little before 10 o'clock, I look out the window and catch sight of a figure in a white lab coat, strutting down the hallway. Uh-oh. Looks like she's here. So I put down the book I was reading. At the same time... Hello? No. No!
私、シチューみたいにたぎった思春期少年病の餌食になっちゃうのかしら？
What? Without even knocking, this raving lunatic barges into my room, gaudy bag in hand. I wish I had asked for Gohaku-san instead.
すみません。どうも頼む人を間違えた。帰ってもらっていいですか？
ああ、嘘。限りなく本気だけど冗談よ。外来の診察なんて久しぶりだから患者さんとの距離感つかめなくて、フランクな挨拶の方がいいかなって気を使ってみたのよ。
I guess.
Arakshi has already made her way over to the bed, babbling all the while that flashy strut as though she's headed down the catwalk. her chest and hips swaying far more than is necessary, and yet I can't make out the sound of her footsteps at all. She has the soft and stealthy footwork of a ninja. You wouldn't have guessed that she'd been loudly clattering around in her high heels earlier. I suppose that for the medical exam she opted to tone it down a notch.
はい、それじゃあ看護出してね。すぐ出してね。どう
え、wait, wait, wait,
お姉さん、溢れる興味の指をもう触れられないから、もたもたしてると食べちゃうよ。
Oh my.
酒飲んでませんよ。
飲んでませんわよ。私、ジョージシラフだもん。アルコールなんて摂取するぐらいなら
I refuse to
チョコ飲
believe
むわ
that.
よ。チョコ。
A nice hot choky.
She's right. I don't smell any alcohol. I guess this level of energy is just par for the course with her.
お？素直に見せてくれたわね。でも裾をうまく仕上げるだけ？パンツは？パンツ一丁にならないの？男の裸が綺麗な時期なんてせいぜい25までなんだから今のうちに露出
A
をつ
man's
けておかないと
naked body
もったい
only
ない
stays
わよ。
beautiful until they're 20.
What do you mean? Incorrect. People love dad bods.
Wow.
いいから早く見てください、博士。俺にも我慢の限度があります。
博士って言った？ねえ、今博士って言った？やっぱそう見える？私。
まあ、
I'm scared.
白衣着ていますし、なんというか、ほら。
You could say that she's the embodiment of a scientist. A mad one at that.
ラブイ！古代マバリにラブイ！よし、ちょっと本気出すか。
Oh god. Professor Arak takes a seat and palpates my legs. That was a strange sensation. It didn't feel as though her fingers were tracing my skin so much as gently lapping against it. There was a rhythmic thumping that resonated throughout my body, but I didn't feel any pain at all. It's as though that she was scanning me with a sonar of a submarine.
やったー。
Oh god, I did. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Maybe.
チキちゃんは痛いの大好きな子だったのね。だってこんなの普通は我慢できないし。
What is this face? Hold on.
What is this face?
Wow. Ah, so that's how it is. Though I'm glad that it's only a fracture. I wouldn't be surprised if I had quite a few fractures here and there.
でも変な話ね。ここに亀裂があるってことはこの辺り折れてないとおかしいんだけど。
Well,
雨村にかかる私。
what do you...
あんた何した今？
ちょっとした消毒よ。 でもこれ開く必要ないわね。固定しとけば明日には治ってるわ。あらくつまんない。
Oh. Professor Arak discontentedly scratches her head, then takes some medical equipment out of her bag. She breaks the seal on a fresh pair of surgical gloves, dons them, and starts preparing a syringe.
一応痛み止め言っとくわね。
Oh.
必要ないんだけど。
No, I hate needle. Please, no.
念入りにって頼まれちゃったし。
With a fluid hand movement, Professor Arak injects the painkillers into my left leg. That accomplished, she tapes my heel in place and wraps it in a bandage, thus completing the treatment. She really did a brilliant job. It's on par with the care I received from the old man from the clinic, who took care of me back when I was living with the Arimas. She'd probably be an excellent physician, if she could only keep her mouth shut.
ありがとうございます。おかげで助かりました。
Thank you very much, lady I'm scared of.
いいの。私所詮無面かつ専門外だし、本職は科学者だし。
What?
キちゃん博士って呼んでくれたし。
What? Eh? She seems to be over the moon about the fact that I called her Professor. Based on her reaction, I assume that Akiha and the others have never referred to her that way before.
けどしきちゃん、
Hmm.
ずいぶんと体に無茶させたみたいね。人体の運動性、その限界に挑んだ感じ？
Maybe I have.
私そういうむちゃくちゃなの大好きだから医者として止めないけど。
おや、医者は本職じゃないんでしょ？
しきちゃんたら辛辣。おとなしそうに見えて根は冷血みたいな。体だけじゃなく精神もハイブリッドなの。っていうか、あなた自分の体についてどこまで理解してるの？
I don't know.
貧血持ちのことですか？
そっちじゃなくて、筋肉と骨格のこと。エンジンとフレームでもいいわ。触れた感じ、君珍しい体してたから。
え？
筋肉には瞬発力重視の側筋と持久力重視の遅筋があるわけだけど、しきちゃんは側筋メイン。それはいいんだけど、なんていうか軽いのよね。骨格じゃなくて骨そのものが軽いというか、なんか生まれつき自重をごまかしてふわふわ浮く不思議ちゃんみたいな。
何ですかそれ？骨が軽いって
Light
どうですか
bones?
俺は。
あ、そう、そんな感じ。こんなん自然には生まれないわよ。よっぽど配合に凝ったのね。しきちゃんはまさにサラブレッド。たった10秒走るためだけに生まれてきた。兄弟なのにトシちゃんとは正反対。
秋葉と正反対なんですか？
遠野家の子はみんな優秀かつオールドな遺伝子の配合。異種配合の賜物だけど、トシちゃんはちょっと例外というか特例つうか奇跡。先祖返り、まあ覚醒遺伝ね。配合を始める前の純粋なパターンを持っている。そうね。あなたが10年に1人の才能なら、あの子は10年、100年、1000年。さて何年に1人の逸材だと思う？
Professor Arak poses the question with a wry smile on her face.
Chief. I think it's once in a century.
Wait, a century is 100 years, right? Yeah, decade is 10. Because Theka is 10 in Greek. Okay, yeah.
Century. Once a century.
なんて全部見当違いの話です。人的才能と比べることさえおこがましい。トシちゃんは万年に1人の怪物だもん。
Oh. Professor Arak lets loose a hearty cackle. It appears she's thoroughly enjoying herself. I unconsciously clench my fist in response to her attitude.
あら、妹をけなされて怒っちゃった？私としては最上級の愛情を込めたつもりだったんだけど。
そうですか。だとしても今の言い方はやめてください。
I don't want anyone to liken her to a monster. Now that I know vampires are real, I can't abide anyone using that term to refer to a human. And to refer to Akiha at that, I won't allow it.
あら、地雷踏んじゃった？キャー、私怖いから追い止めしちゃう。
Bruh. With a clatter of heels, Miss Arak scurries over to the door. I have no intention of calling out to her retreating back to get her to stop. However, the woman in the lab coat halts in front of the door, then turns around with a grin playing around her lips.
でもちょっと
え
博士として忠告しちゃう。
What?
もしこの先もそういう怪我をする予定があるなら相談に乗ってあげる。チキちゃん、
Mhm,
体
mhm.
がなまりまくってるみたいだし。どう ?7 年間の檻取ってみたくない？とっても痛いことになるんだけど。
Eh? I don't understand the meaning of it. I just know that I feel a visceral disgust at the idea of accepting her offer.
謹んで辞退します。もうこんなことは起きませんし。
Mm.
ええ、そうなるといいわね。じゃあね、じゃあ私はいつでも待ってるわよ。
Huh. She's kind of sus. Professor Arak blows me a kiss, then leaves the room. I should pull myself together. Now that I'm able to move, I need to decide how to spend my afternoon. Oh. Wow. Having finished lunch, it's now the afternoon. Thanks to this morning's medical exam, I'm able to at least walk around without much trouble. Given that I can't go too far, how shall I spend my afternoon? Oh, another choice.
Okay, safe, thank you.
I'll take a walk around the courtyard, I'll wander the halls of the mansion, I'll take a quick trip into the...
No, don't go to the city.
I wonder what happens if I go to the... Oh, I can't.
My leg is broken.
Wander the halls of the mansion should be fine, I think. I'll take a tour around the mansion. I doubt it's changed much over the past 7 years, but since I'll be looking at it from a new, more mature perspective, maybe I'll discover some things I didn't appreciate before. Now then, after snooping around the mansion for the past hour, I've come to a conclusion.
立ち入り禁止の区画が多すぎない？
Oh. There's nobody around, but I still say it out loud as though fishing for validation. The main building of the Tono residence is as large as a hotel, and just like a hotel, it has many rooms that are off limits to unauthorized personnel. The second floor of the East Wing is especially incredible. Not awful, I really do mean incredible. It's as if there's some sort of unseen force at play. I can't get into the other rooms in the mansion because they're locked, but the second floor of the East Wing isn't barred by doors or locks. Instead, the second I set foot down that hall, it's as if I'm overcome by a sense of dizziness, or as if the hallway itself has started to shake.
許可なしで入ったら絶対に殺すという強い意志を感じる。
The one responsible for this is, of course, Akia. Maybe I've developed a persecution complex. No, I'm sure I was just overthinking it. Either way, I felt as though my social life would be in grave danger if I went any further, and opted not to enter the second floor of the East Wing.
ああ、それが正解だ。
え？
おいそれと当主の生活空間に入るものじゃない。それが家族であろうともね。
Are you the dude with the
昔からここではそうだっただろう、四季君。
Oh shit, I think it is you.
I'm addressed by someone standing behind me, and jump slightly in surprise. I turn around and there I see...
Oh my god.
屋敷の探索は終わったかね？私としては出戻った人間には自室でおとなしくしていてほしい。
Oh. Hey, fuck you, man. I had to kill a vampire.
それはどうも。こっちもよく知らない人間にうちの周りを歩いてほしくないですけど。
私を知らないのは君だけなんだが、まあそこは流そう。お互い深く関わり合う立場じゃない。いたしかゆしだ。今日はそうだな。私も気が緩んでいたらしい。 君の後ろ姿から昔を思い出してね。
俺を見て昔を思い出したですか？
Could it be?
なあ、牧久さんがまだ万全だった頃だ。ここ数年は部屋にこもりがちだったが、もともとは植物を愛する人でね、こうして屋敷の周りを歩いていた。牧久さんが植物に造詣が深かったことは話したかな。私も少しはかじっていてね、二人でよくそこの植物園で語り合ったものさ。
植物園なんか厳重に施錠されてますけど。
入り口はね、裏口は簡単な鍵で開けられる。持っているのは琥珀状かな。ありがたいことに今でも最低限の世話をしてくれているようだ。
I'm a little surprised. Saiki just referred to Kohaku-san as Miss. I would have thought he'd be the type of person to look down on people for being servants.
あなたは琥珀さんと親しいんですか？
私があの使用人と？
えThe man chuckles sarcastically, then begins to laugh in earnest. I don't need to ask what he finds so amusing. Saiki Goto is just laughing at the ridiculousness of the person in front of him.
何かおかしなことを言いましたか？
いや、失敬。
Creepy, bro.
今のは私が悪いんだ。何しろ君に落ち度はない。ただあんまりな質問だったという。私は琥珀城とはそう親しくはないよ。彼女と話すようになったのは秋葉が当主になってからだ。琥珀城は秋葉の秘書役でもある。必然会話の機会も増える。どちらかというと私は翡翠城と顔見知りだがね。
This is another big surprise. You're telling me that Saiki Goto, this shady-looking guy, is well acquainted with Hisui?
昔の話だよ。それも。ここ数年は全く話をしていない。挨拶程度はするがね。さて、私も日差しを浴びすぎた。肌が痒くていけない。
Saiki Goto raises a hand in the air, and a car that had been standing by in the parking lot rolls up in front of the entrance of the mansion. This must mean the end of our conversation.
ああ、本題を聞き忘れていた。どうかな？7年ぶりに屋敷を見た感想。
特に驚きはないです。子供の頃の記憶合わせができたのは1回だけですし。
I replied to the man clad head to toe in bandages.
なんだ、面白みのない。しかし、そうだな。過去から戻ってきたとしても、見違えるような現実なの。そうはないということか。
Having said what he wanted to say, Saiki Goto leaves the Tono residence. He's been visiting the mansion pretty frequently. I wonder if he has a house of his own in Soya somewhere.
次はその辺りに切り込んでみるか。
There is no doubt that Saiki considers me an enemy, or at least a nuisance. Know your enemy and you shall not fear 100 battles. I'd better learn a little more about him if I want to be able to defend myself.
ま、それはそれとして。
I don't want this to be the note that my precious day off ends on. I regain my composure and resume my exploration of the mansion. Next up is... Right, I'll head out to the courtyard. Wow! I head out onto the terrace. This terrace also abuts the rear of the living room. Back when we were little, this was Akiha's favorite haunt on days when the weather was good. Though perhaps it would be more accurate to say that it was also her boundary. She never went out into the garden by herself. This terrace marked the confines of where she was allowed to roam.
そうだった。よく庭から声をかけて家庭教師の目を盗んだっけ。
I think I remember being told to always keep to the terrace. Being told to always keep to the terrace when we went out to play. They said that it would be mischievous of us to go into the forest by ourselves, or something along those lines. Of course, I went and took Akiha out with me to the forest anyway, and got chewed out for it afterward. I head down from the terrace and out into the garden. The garden looked endless in the eyes of a child, but now that I have a better perspective, it's a little easier to get a handle on the size of it. There are fewer flowers now than I remember there being 7 years ago, but aside from that, the ambience of the garden is largely unchanged. It's a nice fountain.
Whoa!
This place is nice. After strolling around leisurely for about 10 minutes, I arrive at the gazebo. This marks the end of the garden. Past this point, it gives way to a dense forest, thick with trees. I'm still a little hobbled by my leg injury, so this is about as far as I'll go today.
それにしてもつくづく日本離れした屋敷だよな。
I sit down on a rock and gaze out over the vast autumn garden. From this perspective, the mansion looks more like a castle than simply a Western-style house. It's a spectacular sight, but it's so far removed from what I'm comfortable with that I can't help smiling bitterly. If you ask me, this scenery is much more befitting of Akiha, or...
あいつぐらいだよな。
I can't help but think of that stunningly beautiful woman.
ってなんだそれ。
I shake my head vigorously to clear away such wild and crazy thoughts. Why am I reminiscing about Arcueid anyway? It's not as though I'm ever going to see her again. Now that she's accomplished her goal of exterminating Vrov, there's no reason for her to stick around in this city. That's why it's no use being hung up on her like this.
だよな。もともとそういう関係だし、どうってことない。ほんと、もうあんな無茶をしなくていいかと思うと、せいぜい。
I closed my mouth before I could finish my sentence. There's no point even uttering such a blatant lie. It'll definitely be a lot less lively without her around. But whether that's a good thing or not is hard to say. After all, I'm still left with these feelings in my heart. Among those feelings is regret, and even lingering affection. That girl was nothing but trouble, but even so, it was, well, kind of fun to spend time with her.
バカか、俺は。
I nearly got killed. Why on earth am I still pinning after her? The wound I sustained last night is still there on my leg. I remember how it felt when it seemed like I was going to be killed by Vrov. I don't want to go through something like that ever again. I breathe out a sigh and leave behind the gazebo. I kill some more time strolling around the courtyard as I make my way back. And yet, even after the sun is set, this strange, lingering attachment is not so easily forgotten. Oh, Hmm? My afternoon off passed by without incident. I returned to my room to loaf around for a bit, and the next thing I knew it was already time for dinner.
呆れた。いい加減忘れろよ、俺。
One sec, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Wow.
I shake off the thoughts of that blonde woman still lodged in my mind. I know it's a common refrain that the sun sets early in autumn, but it really does disappear far too quickly. I guess I was so absorbed in my insignificant thoughts that I lost track of time. Akiha and I sit in the dining room. Kohaku-san waits attentively behind her, and Hisui is likewise standing a little ways behind me. The dinner Kohaku-san had prepared for us consisted of a series of courses, culminating in a main course of wagyu beef. Maybe it's one of the customs of the Tono residence, but Akiha spends the meal in utter silence, a prim expression on her face as she conveys each morsel of the food to her lips. Akiha had returned to the mansion maybe an hour or so prior. Apparently, some sort of unforeseen problem had cropped up, and she'd had to go run it to the ground. Run it to ground?
Whatever.
念のため聞いておくけど、うちの夕食って死後現金だったっけ？
I asked Hisui in a whisper, trying not to be heard by Akiha.
いいえ、親族の皆様間での談話は自由に行われておりました。
She just like food, bro.
じゃあ、アキハが黙っているのは単に機嫌が悪いだけ。
申し訳ありません。私には分かりかねます。あくまで憶測ですが、アキハ様はお疲れなのではないでしょうか。
そっか。そりゃそうだよな。いつも不機嫌だけど、今は特にご機嫌斜めだし。ほんと、ご苦労様だこと。
I nod earnestly and sympathize with her. I can't say this out loud, but the best thing I can do for my sister after her weekend has been cut short by some unexpected crisis is to just let her rest. There's no reason for me to go and put my foot in it by bringing the topic up. Let sleeping Akiha's lie, and all that.
聞こえていましたよ、兄さん。別に午後の視察で疲れているわけではありません。食事は静粛にが当家のマナーですから。
Akiha glares at me. It's only natural she'd notice me talking to Hisui. But the fact that she could even make out what we were saying is disconcerting. Her hearing must be insanely sharp.
もっとも、それも過去の話ですが。どうしても話がある。今日一日の出来事を語り合いたいというのであれば、その限りではありません。
I nod my head in understanding and resume eating. Perhaps as a result of having a light breakfast followed by a light lunch, by evening I had developed quite the appetite. Though despite that, I'm finding tonight's menu a little difficult to stomach. Not just because of the beef tenderloin and foie gras, but also because the deep red sauce forcefully reminds me of blood, and by extension, all of the events that led up to yesterday. An unexpected murder, an impossible reunion, an unbelievable monster. Weighed down by that heavy loss of life, their outstretched fingers, the touch of death. And finally, what I knew would naturally follow, after we defeated that vampire, parting ways.
Man,
Pathetic. To sink this deeply into my reverie. My fever hasn't abated at all, has it?
それで
Hydration.
私の仕事ぶりをいたわってくれた兄さんは午後の休みをどのように過ごされたのです？
俺のことか。午後は散歩に出て、部屋に戻ってからはずっとベッドで横になってた。
それはま
No.
た貧血ですか？
She really does care.
いや、考え事をしていたらいつの間にか夜になってたというか、体の調子は悪くないし、足の方も問題ないよ。
つまり無意に時間を浪費した、
No,
ということですね。
no, I was resting.
そんなくだらないことを堂々と口にしないでください。私は何とも思いませんが、他の人が聞けば笑い物になるだけですから。
Oh. Akiha's reaction is merciless and leaves no room for rebuttal. But be that as it may.
確かに自堕落に思われる発言だった。というか自堕落だった。反省している。けど、秋葉は何とも思わないってどうして？
Could it be that her strict attitude is just for show? And she's actually benevolent when it comes to her immediate family?
どうしても何も当然でしょ。
Hmm?
私は党の指揮に何も期待はしていませんから。
Bruh.
兄さんがそういう人であることは初めから承知の上です。
I see. What an enlightened perspective. You can't be disappointed if you never get your hopes up. I guess this is how it feels to be at a loss for words.
いやー、ごちそうさまでした。
ごちそうさま。食後は習い事がありますので、私はこれで。兄さん、反省なされたのでしたら、今夜は早めに部屋に戻って勉学に励んでくださいね。
Agiha gets up from her seat and leaves the dining room. I believe that tonight's lesson is a violin recital she planned earlier this evening. Just how much of an overachiever is she? I'll definitely develop an inferiority complex at this rate.
四季さん、ファイトです。秋葉様に負けないで。
What do you mean?
The mischievous maid pumps her fists in support as she follows Akiha out of the room.
Bruh.
Hmm? After dinner, I took a quick bath and headed back to my room. I take a seat at the desk furnishing my room. As Akiha says, I'd better make up for the fact that I spent the day idling around. I spread my textbooks out across the surface of the desk. Despite all the unbelievable things that have happened to me recently, at the end of the day, I'm still a second-year high school student. I have a massive pile of work that needs to get done.
いや、山積みなんだけど。
No matter how hard I try, I can't concentrate at all. The only thing I can think about...
Babe.
Wow. It's the figure of the woman who no longer needs me, and who I really ought to forget.
ああ、もう、今日はやめやめ。
I give up, lie down on my bed, and stare aimlessly at the ceiling. It's okay. Tonight will be the end of it. The last 2 days were full of excitement, for better or worse. You'd have to be crazy to forget something like that easily. I just needed a day to cool off, that's all. I'll just lie here, doing nothing, and let my consciousness drift. In order to keep my memories at bay and to dilute down the impression she left on me, I'll consign myself to nothingness and let the hours slip away. If I do that, all of the events that transpired will surely become nothing more than fragments of the past. Eventually, my eyelids begin to droop. My consciousness slowly fades. My senses are subsumed by the unbearable darkness. Oh. And just like that, the day that went by so peacefully comes to an end. Lying there in bed, wondering if I'm simply trying to fool myself, I sink into an uncertain slumber. It was a whole day already? Past couple of days have been like 3 hours long, that sort of shit. Bruh. Okay. I guess we do a second day then. Day 7. Eyes of Death Perception 1. I wake up, my thoughts still hazy. My arm feels a little heavy as I reach out for my glasses. I must have developed a light fever. With that detached thought, I put them on. Okay, good. The lights go. Wait, what? It got blurry for a sec. My vision returns to normal, but the mild dizziness persists. My symptoms resemble those of a cold, but this is one of those fevers peculiar to the morning. Like an engine that hasn't started up in a while being warmed by combustion, this feeling will subside with time. There's a knock at the door. After a short pause. Hello. With a bow, Hisui enters the room.
おはよう、翡翠。今朝もありがとう。
おはようございます、四季様。お目覚めになられていたのですね。
ああ、昨日はぐっすり眠ったから、着替えたらすぐに食堂に行くよ。琥珀さんにはちょっと熱があるから、量は少なめだって伝えてほしい。
かしこまりました。体温計は必要でしょうか？
Yes.
いらないよ。
お
どうせいつもの微熱だし。
それでは着替えはここに。食堂でお待ちしております。
Hisui bows and leaves the room. Perhaps it's just me, but her bow didn't seem as sharp as usual.
心配してくれてるのかな？
Yep.
でもこんなの本当にいつものことなんだけど。
I appreciate the concern, but it's nothing to make a fuss over. If you're going to fret about something, it should be a wound like that. One you can instantly tell is serious.
しかし、ガムテープは本当ないよな。見てるこっちの血の気が引いたし、今度会ったら。
Man.
I cut myself short before I can finish my sentence. There is no next time. We'll never see each other again. You couldn't convince me to get involved with that walking calamity of a woman again. Not for all the money in the world.
そうだ。それがいいに決まってる。
I digest that undeniable fact. It's Monday. The beginning of a week. A good chance to start fresh. Having washed my face and dressed myself, I enter the living room. Akiha is sitting on the sofa. Standing on the sofa.
What are you saying?
The clock has only just struck 7, but she seems to have already finished her breakfast and is now gracefully enjoying a cup of tea.
あら、おはよう、兄さん。今朝は早いんですね。
Akiha seems to be in a good mood. I wonder if it's because she's pleased to see me up and about so
おはよ
early.
う。秋葉の方こそいつもおはよう。
And then, I suddenly feel lightheaded, so I pinch the bridge of my nose. Even then, the dizziness won't go away. My body temperature rises, so much so that even I start to think something is wrong.
兄さん。
Oh. I hear the faint rustling of clothes and the sound of approaching footsteps.
どうかしました？顔が赤いけど、熱でもあるんですか？
いや、熱は確かにあるんだけど。
Akiha moves up close to me and peers up into my face from below. That's odd. For some reason, when I look at her, it feels like my dizziness gets even more intense.
少し熱があるようですね。
Hmm?
昨夜はきちんと毛布を使いましたか？環境が変わったから調子を崩しただけでしょうけど、念には念よね。そこで待っていてください、兄さん。今、琥珀を呼びつけますから、朝食の前に熱を測りましょう。
Akiha turns her gaze to the lobby. She must be planning to go and call for Kohaku-san, who is currently preparing breakfast in the kitchen. I take this opportunity to avert my gaze from Akiha. As I suspected, that was all it took to alleviate my dizziness.
いいんだ、アキハ。琥珀さんを呼ぶまでもないよ。起きたばかりで体調が悪いだけだから、いちいち気にしないで。
体調が悪いのならなおさら放っておけません。風邪だったらどうするんですか？些細な病気でも、兄さんには大事でしょ。免疫や抵抗力が人より低いんですから。
Exasperated, Akiha places her hand on my forehead. The sudden cool touch of her delicate palm sends a shiver down the back of my neck. For an instant, my breathing stops completely. Akiha is right. There's something wrong with me this morning. I don't understand why, but every single move she makes goes right to my head. Just watching her is enough to make my body temperature rise. If I were to touch her directly, it'd probably make me so dizzy that I'd collapse. I hope, his death eyes aren't, like, reacting to her, meaning that she'll die soon or something.
兄さん。
Oh.
随分と熱くないですか？
Please no. I feel Akiha's voice echoing, not in my ears, but directly inside my brain. It was as if her beautiful black hair and her pale porcelain skin had turned into heat and were flowing directly into my head. This is bad. This feeling will pass. My body's just a little unstable as a result of all the fatigue that's accumulated. What I need to do right now, before I do something unthinkable in front of Akiha, is...
よし、休養を思い出した。
I brush off her hand and run like the wind.
四季様、朝食まであと5分ほどかかりますが。
そうか、ありがとう。俺のカバンは？
カバンでしたらこちらに。
Flawless preparation. That's Hisui for you. I thank Hisui and take my bag from her.
行ってくる。見送りはいいから。
お待ちなさい。
No!
熱があるのに何をしているんですか、兄さんは。第一、廊下は走らない。妹の言うことはきちんと聞くが、我が家のルールです。おとなしく今で熱を測ってください。
Oh. Akiha is waiting for me in the lobby. She must have come to try and stop me. However, given that she's following her own rule about not running in the corridors, it seems she's only just made it here from the living room.
悪い！ルールを守るのはまた後で。熱も下がったし、このまま学校に行ってくる。朝飯は勝手になんとかするから、今朝は多めに見てくれ。
なんとかするって。ちょっと、兄さん？待ちなさい。何ですかその言い分は。後で守るルールなんて、それじゃ規則とは呼べません。
Bye-bye. As though fleeing Akiha's reprimands, I run through the entryway towards the front door of the mansion. In my heart, I clasp my hands together in silent prayer and apologize. I appreciate that she's worried about my health, but there's no way I could say something like, "Well, the truth is, just looking at you is almost enough to make me pass out." Oh no. I can't even begin to imagine the retaliation that would have been in store for me if I had. Bruh. After taking a deep breath, I'm finally able to calm down. I should be safe now that I've put this much distance between us. Akiha isn't childish enough to announce I'm going to school too and then chase after her older brother as he likes it.
けど、怒る理由がルールについてなのが秋葉らしいな。
Remembering what she said earlier brings a wry smile to my lips. Even though she's my sister, to this day I still can't say for sure whether her emotional boiling point is high or low.
コンビニにでも寄っていくか。
I don't have a lot of money in my wallet, but I should at least get something light to eat. I resent the fact that I actually have an appetite today of all days. Normally I wouldn't mind skipping breakfast, but I'm pretty hungry this morning, so I've just got to suck it up. I'll pick up some stuffed bread. That should be enough to tide me over until lunchtime. What's been happening at school? We haven't been there for a while.
Wow, school. Finally.
Only a few minutes have passed since I stopped by the convenience store. It's about half an hour earlier than I'd usually be going to school. There aren't many students visible on the sidewalk. In about 10 minutes, the main gate will be crowded with students, but for now, there are only 2 or 3 of them, myself included. Unlike that time, there's no sign of the unbelievably beautiful woman sitting on the guardrail waiting for someone. In the schoolyard, the sports clubs are in the middle of their morning practice. With a sidelong glance in their direction, I head towards the entrance. I like moving my body. It makes me feel alive. However, I wasn't able to join any clubs. Because I have chronic anemia, there's a chance I'd let the rest of the team down when it counts. Plus, my doctor also strongly insists that I refrain from overexerting myself. My freshman year, there were a couple of clubs that offered to let me join. Whenever they did, I always turned them down by saying, maybe next time. And each time I felt an indescribable sense of estrangement. And so, here we are. I suppose I've been avoiding getting involved with them in any way, operating according to some sort of subconscious self-defense mechanism. I put a stop to my sentimental musings, silently cheering on my kindred spirits in the sports club as they give it their all. I continue towards the main school building.
You sussy woman, hello.
Yeah, I'm here early.
はい、ちょっと時間を間違えて。おはようございます、ノエル先生。
On my way to the classroom, I bump into Noelle Sensei. She seems pretty shocked to see me. I suppose she wasn't expecting to run into anyone here at this hour either.
時間を間違えると遅刻するんじゃなくて、早くから登校しちゃうんだ。
Yep, that's my style.
今時の若い子ならもっと気楽に生きていいんじゃない？
十分気楽にやってますよ。勉強好きでもありませんし。それより金曜日の無断欠席についてですけど。
あれね。大丈夫。お家には連絡入れてないから。
Why?
たった1日のボイコットなんて普通だものね。四季君だってその方が都合が良かったでしょ？
With a suggestive chuckle, Noelle Sensei says something rather out of character for a teacher. That helped me out. Or rather, I think it saved me. Akiha would have been significantly angry at me if she'd discovered I was absent on Friday. Oh, she doesn't know I didn't. Oh my god. I get the feeling that Noelle Sensei's education policy is just a tad too lenient.
あ、四季君たら頭固いんだ。
What do you mean?
先生は不真面目なわけじゃありません。生徒の自主性を尊重してのことです。だってみんなこんなにも若くて美味しそうなんですもの。一日ぐらい背伸びして遊びに行くのは仕方のないことだと思うの。
What do you mean delicious looking?
いえ、遊びに行っていたとかそういうんじゃなくて。
なんて冗談よ。分かってます。例の貧血でしょ。真面目な四季君が火遊びをするわけないもんね。
Yep. I wasn't with a beautiful baby. Nothing. No, absolutely not.
それで体の方は大丈夫？痛いところとか残ってない？
Wait, what do you mean? How do you know? Wait, what? She really had me worried there. In truth, Noelle Sensei's joke hit the nail right on the head. But I'm not about to tell her that.
貧血の方はなんとか。今朝は特に調子がいいです。
Yeah, that's fine. But what?
さあ、それはよかった。じゃあ今日から気楽な学生生活に戻れるわね。ところで、慢性的な貧血という話だけど、四季君はいつからそういう体質なの？やっぱり生まれつき？
生まれつきではないんです。子供の頃に事故に遭って、それ以来というか。
まあ、それは気の毒に。それで運動をしなくなったり、食欲が薄くなったりしたのね。
How do you know I have a small...
Who is this?
Your sauce. What do you mean small appetite?
Why do you know what I eat? What?
それでどんなだったのかしら？
はい？
I couldn't help but raise my voice at her cryptic question. As if licking her lipstick-laden lips with her tongue, Noelle Sensei says,
だからどんな事故だったの？と聞いたの。体がおかしくなるぐらいの怪我だったんでしょ？やっぱりすごく痛くて泣きわめくほど怖かったのよね。それこそ一度死んで生まれ変わってしまうぐらい。
What the fuck?
An indescribable chill runs through me. Not in reaction to Noelle Sensei's insensitive remarks. She's just got an insatiable curiosity, or perhaps more accurately, I should say, she has an inability to read the room. That much has been clear since she started here. What gave me pause is that I realized I don't actually remember the details of the accident at all.
ただの事故ですよ。こうして無事だし、大したことじゃありません。そろそろ時間だし、失礼します。
I bow to Noelle Sensei and walk past her.
四季君。
What? I don't like you.
I turn around in response to my name being called.
体調がいいのなら今日からしっかりね。これ以上無断欠席はしない方が身のためよ。
Okay. With something like a wink, the returnee from France turns and heads towards the staff room. I thought I'd be the first to arrive, but several of my classmates are already in the classroom.
早いな、遠野。金曜どうしたん？
Don't worry about it, you know, vampire stuff.
おはよう。金曜は体調不良。そっちは朝練終わり？
そうそう。放課後の部活動だけじゃなく、朝練まで自重しろって話になってきてさ。首相を交代したばっかだってのに、こんなんじゃ統率取れねえよ。な
It had looked like everything was business as usual for the athletic clubs, but I suppose even they have been affected by the vampire incident. Well, they just need to wait it out for a little while, but the incident will soon fade away and club activities will return to normal.
Will it?
I don't know. 5 minutes until homeroom. As I sit here reflecting on how lovely it is that the day's classes are about to begin without incident.
Yahoo! サボりまーおはようございます
A voice calls out from behind, ruining my morning.
やっす、不良くん
Oh my
金
god,
曜
get
日
your
は
bootleg
ナイス
Shiro.
無断欠席でしたねおかげで今朝また一段と元気ありそう
え
なんだよ、金土日と寝込んでたんじゃねえの
No.
寝込んでないし貧弱でもない金曜日はたまたま気分が悪くなっただけで家に帰ったら回復したよ。面倒なんでそのまま学校は休んだけど。
マジか。あの豪華なお屋敷でのんびりアンニュイライフとかたった3日でお貴族様の仲間入りかよ相変わらず気も太いっつうか順応性高いっつうか、ほんと住めば都なのな遠野は、めちゃくちゃ羨ましくねえ。
Arihiko's bluff is a sight to behold. We could all stand to learn a thing or two from his rebellious spirit.
言っとくけど慣れてないぞ。お前な、あの家がどれだけでかいか見てないから。有彦、遠野の屋敷知ってるのか？
うんにゃ、知らぬ。あんだけ高いところにあって、かつ周りは塀と林だろ。敷地の中に入らねえと見えねえだろ。いや、デバガメ根性で見たいけどよ。でもほら、オタク、セキュリティとかおすごいんでしょ？
俺が知るか。ああ、いや、恵子さんの話じゃ年に数回泥棒騒ぎがあるらしいけど、遠野邸に警察が駆けつけたことなんかないって言ってたし。お前だって丘の上の屋敷に泥棒が入ったなんて話聞いたことないだろ。
お前、それ年に数回賊が教えるのに警察が来ないって
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
ね、あり地獄っぽくね。
どこが？
The burglars are getting caught before the police even have a chance to show up. I'd call that pretty good security, not pretty bad.
いやだからよ、そもそも外に出てきてねえんじゃねえのその泥棒さん。
Uh-oh.
なるほど。それならどんな噂も広まらないか。
We nod gravely to each other. We were terrified to think any deeper on the topic, so we both did our best to change the subject.
そうそう、土曜の事故現場もう見たか？北口駅前の大火事、地下からの出火だったって話。
いや、まだ見てない。話だけは聞いているけど。
俺、北口に改装前のデパートあっただろ。あの前にあった公園がごっそり地下に陥没してる。あれひでえぜ。元に戻すの1年はかかるんじゃねえかな。でもまあ悪いことばかりじゃない。警備員やらテレビ局やらが押し寄せてるんで、北口のバカども鳴りを潜めやがったからな。
そうなのか。じゃあ倉見橋駅のホテルの話は？
倉見橋のホテルってあのドームホテル？ああ、そういえばあっちでも火災があったんだっけ。北口の壊れっぷりがすげえんで忘れてたわ。
I can't blame Arihiko for his lack of discretion. Even though so many people burned to death in that incident, to Arihiko it's just a story from the next town over. Thanks to the constant stream of news we're subject to in this day and age, no matter how tragic an event is, it will always be eclipsed by the next lurid news story and pushed out of the public consciousness.
何にせよ物騒なのは変わらねえってことか。そういうお前さんもどうなんだよ。遠野は中学からこっち貧血持ちのくせに学校だけは休まなかったじゃねえか。ま、登校した瞬間に帰るっていう離れ技は何度かあったけどな。
それと似たようなものだよ。交差点あたりまでは登校したんだけど、そこで気分が悪くなって帰ったんだ。
弓塚といいお前といい最近素行が悪いんじゃないか。
素行が悪いっていうのは否定しないけど、弓塚さんどうかしたのか。
木曜からずっと欠席。今朝も来てね。あいつもずっと優等生してたからな。いい加減テンパってたのかもしれん。しかし振り点だから上がれないと。
Ariko's analogies are unique, shall we say.
おっと、じゃ俺はこれで。さらばだ。
Shouldn't you be more worried about our friend?
Ariko cheerfully leaves the classroom. He must be going to hide in the infirmary or something. It seems like today it's his turn to skip class. Bam, 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 bam. The minute the bell rings for lunch, this degenerate reappears, yawning as though he's only just woken up.
Bruh.
What a guy. I've got a hunch that the only three things bouncing around in that skull of his are sleep, food, and sex.
そりゃ飯は当然のように食べるけど、いいのか俺なんかに構って。ランチは先輩と一生がお前のマイブームじゃなかったっけ？
あ？先輩とランチだ。
Ariko frowns, his expression souring. Looks like Senpai gave him the cold shoulder again today. Oh. I go and get lunch with Ariko. Having slept his fill in the infirmary.
宗谷駅前で検索と。何の進展会もねえな。
He's now hard at work hunting for information, mobile phone in hand. It's like they say, trailing behind society by even 4 hours can prove fatal. It could also just be a case of internet addiction, but it's Arihiko we're talking about. It's a different breed from the other students. Keeping up to date with what happened at Soya Station isn't just Arihiko amusing himself with other people's affairs. He's earnestly checking for anything that will give him an edge when it comes to surviving the nighttime world of the business district.
また定番のコンビニレジ強盗ですか。
Bruh.
店員刃物で腹部を刺され重傷。犯人はアルコール依存症。
Bruh.
言ったそう。
That's kind of whack.
酔っ払いに話通じねえもんな。
Yeah,
やっぱ買い物は通販に限りますな。
Ariko demolishes his meal, browsing his phone with his other hand all the while. The tradition of a father reading the newspaper during mealtime is completely transformed into its modern-day equivalent, right in front of me. No, leaving that modern-day critique aside...
アリヒコ、食事時にその手のニュース読み上げるの楽しいか？
楽しくねえですよ。けど世間に興味を持たない間抜けな友人のために世の中の物騒さを知らしめなきゃならんでしょ。聞いてますか、遠野くん。北口は倒壊するわ、酔っ払いは人を刺すわ、無差別に人を殺す通り魔はいるわ、他人事じゃねえかもなんだぜ。
それは確かに。でも通り魔事件はもう起きないんだ。北口の事故はどうしようもないけど、それ以外はいつも通りってことだろ。
そうなの？通り魔って捕まったんだ。
Yep, they did, yep.
いや、捕まってはいないだろうけど。
The culprit is no longer of this world. That's why there aren't any news stories with vulgar headlines about modern-day vampires. Or are there people being meaninglessly murdered by them?
ともかく、もうあんなふざけた事件は起きないし、犠牲者も出ないってこと。街は元に戻ったんだよ。
しかし犠牲者は出ると思うぜ、遠野。
出ないよ。なんで断言できるんだよ、アリ。
だっておい、今朝で9人目の死体が発見されたって 今ニュースで流れてる。
Arigo shows me the screen of his phone. I can't believe my eyes. It's just as he said. There, on a news aggregator website, under a heading consisting of a bird's eye view of the Soya Station North Gate, is new information regarding the vampire serial killings.
マジかよ。こいつも言ってる映画館の裏じゃねえか？
待て。もう一度よく見せてくれ。
I borrowed the phone from Arihiko. This isn't some troll spreading misinformation, nor is it unsubstantiated speculation. The screen clearly shows an official statement from the police announcing that the serial killer's 9th victim was discovered last night.
そんな。
I'm at a loss for words. That guy, Vrov, is dead. I killed him with my own 2 hands. So then, why? Why are corpses with their blood sucked dry still appearing?
しかし、現代
More vampires. I know it.
相手が美人のお姉さんなら座れちゃってもいいんだがね。
美人の吸血鬼。
My spine freezes at Arihiko's casual remark. I wouldn't mind having my blood sucked if the vampire was a beautiful woman. I can't take these playful words as a mere joke.
事件はまだ終わっていない。
The occurrence of new victims proves that the vampire is still alive and well. A simple process of elimination is all that's needed. Vrov is gone. That means the only other remaining vampire is...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
With classes over, the school day has come to a close. Yet, here I am, wondering where the time went. I was so caught up in all the dark thoughts swirling around my head that I've only now noticed the fact that I'm alone in the classroom.
通り魔殺人はまだ続いている。
By all rights, those words shouldn't even warrant a second thought. But I recall her saying something. I've never killed a human being. I can't bring myself to believe she was lying.
ニュースが間違いなのか。それとも。
The only one who knows for sure is Arcueid herself. If I can track her down and see her once more, I'm sure everything will be cleared up. But even I don't understand why I want to. Those killings are no longer any of my concern. My life returned to normal the moment I settled the score with Vrov. I fulfilled my duty. I must have. That's why there's no reason to go out of my way to set foot into such an abnormal world. I should just carry on as normal, pretend nothing happened and go home without thinking any more about this. Giving up and going home. As choices go, that's definitely the runner-up. But that's because a long time ago someone taught me the number one thing to do in a situation like this.
どんな人間だって人生ってのは落とし穴だらけなのよ。君はそれを何とかできる力があるんだから、もっとちゃんとしなさい。
そうだ。何もしないって選択だけはしちゃいけない。
Those words saved me. I live my life by those words. That's why I can't just stand back and turn a blind eye. This case is far from over. Having already gotten mixed up in it once, it seems I'm now fated to see this troublesome matter all the way through to the bitter end. Ooh. I leave the school grounds. I don't have much of a lead, but I do still have the apartment key she entrusted me with. I'll head there first and see what I can find.
いないか。
The apartment is just as I remember it. But Arcueid is nowhere to be found. She's not here, but I can at least sense a trace of her presence in this room. I feel a wave of relief pass over me at this assurance that she hasn't vanished into thin air.
いいさ。そう簡単に捕まえられるなんて思ってない。とにかく、今は行動はあるのみだ。
I could wait here, but there's no guarantee she's coming back. I have no choice but to go out into the city and search for her at random, just like the time I first met her. When you have no choice, you could wait there.
Wow, Starbags Cafe. Oh my goodness, I love Starbags.
In Comic Sans font. Wow. As the sun sets, the city dons its evening visage. I searched all over the most likely areas, but found neither hide nor hair of Arcueid.
どうでもいい時はひょこひょこ歩いてたくせに、どうしてこういう時に見つからないんだ、あいつは。
What should I do? The night has just begun. I should... Ooh, okay, I'm not gonna return to the mansion. I think I'll probably just not give up and keep searching. I'll keep searching the city. That's how we first met, after all. A chance encounter. Our relationship isn't so straightforward as to have a designated meetup location. If it turns out I can't rely on chance, then I'll just have to put my own legs and intuition to work and seek out that white figure out of hers.
そうだよな。人に会いに行くっていうのはそういうことだ。携帯に頼りすぎだった。
That's how it was back before mobile phones became so widespread. Even if you couldn't find each other where you'd planned to meet up, if you considered the other person's lifestyle and thought patterns, you could seek them out, using your wits alone. It's like a sixth sense, an innate human ability that we just take for granted. Even in this day and age, reliant as we are on our cell phones, there's nothing we can't do if we set our minds to it.
Wow. Wow, look at that Nissan.
Beautiful, beautiful. Though I can only cover so much ground. The residential district, or the business district. I wonder which I'd be better off focusing on.
よし。
After a brief moment of thought, I settled on the business district. In addition to patrolling between the north and south gates of Soya Station, I'll extend my route over toward that side of the city. No matter how thick the crowds may be, if she's still in the city, her retreating figure is still somewhere in that crowd, I absolutely will not let it slip away. Ooh.
いや、ないわ。
Sixth sense my ass. Maybe she'll be right around the corner. This time she's definitely in front of the station. All my hunches and hopes inevitably ended in disappointment. I can't remember the last time I went on such a refreshing fool's errand. I might even go as far as to say this is a first.
Wow, is this the early 2000s? Look at that, it's the old Apple ad. Beautiful.
Wow, what a blast from the past. I suppose the reason for this is because I never knew when my anemia might flare up. I've always been careful to avoid meaningless exertion as best as I could. So then, why did I choose to do something like this? To hair off after her, on the back of nothing more substantial than the thought that maybe there's a chance, or what if I can find her?
でも夜はこれからが本番だし、あともうちょっとだけ探索を。
I receive a message on my phone. Who could it be? Diego, perhaps? I take out my phone and...
四季さん
Clash of Titans. What?
That's from... Kohaku.
急いでお屋敷に帰ってきてくださいますか
Okay.
なぜかというと、突然のお客様がいらっしゃいまして。とても素敵な四季さんのガールフレンドを名乗る外国人の女性と、朝の一件だけでなく、四季様がお帰りにならないことに不機嫌だった秋葉様とかけます。
Uh-oh.
その心は
I was looking for the lady from abroad.
A cryptic email from Kohaku-san.
は
My mind goes blank. Does this mean at this very moment Arcueid is at the Tono mansion? I can easily see this going horribly wrong, but my brain refuses to even comprehend the possible ramifications. I was naive. I truly was. Why on earth did I think that Arcueid's actions would obey any kind of common sense?
にしても意味不明すぎるだろ
Wow. I sprint for the mansion with all the energy I can muster. It's terrifying to imagine what Arcueid might be saying right now. The only thing worse would be that what's going through Akiha's mind as she listens to her. If I even start to think about that, I'll lose the will to live. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nice. I beat my personal best. Having run all the way up the grueling hill, I arrived at the Tono residence out of breath. However...
ごくり
Uh-oh. My breathing, ragged from sprinting here at full speed, calms down. My heaving shoulders come to a standstill. Little wonder. The mansion exudes the same heavy sense of dread you'd feel during the opening scene of a horror movie. Or rather...
Eh? Oh no! Oh my goodness!
ちょうどいいとこ
Oh my god. Big Akiha.
覚悟はできていますね兄さん
Oh no. Hold on. Was it always this easy for humans to be pressured into willingly accepting their own deaths? Wow. However, there is no path of escape from an older brother. If I falter here, the situation will only continue to get worse. I strengthen my resolve and rush headlong into the lion's den. Hello?
ようやくお帰りになったようですね
Yes.
あと1分遅かったのなら
え
どうなっていたかわからなかったところです
あ、やっと帰ってきたな、こいつめ。妹さんばかりか私まで待たせるとか、やっぱり普段から横暴なのね。
Both of them are looking at me, but their expressions are like night and day. This feeling. I know this feeling. It's the sort of thing that shows up in a lot of films. The suffocating, heart-rending desperation of a soldier with a gun to the back of their head being told to beg for their life. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk my way out of this one. All the things that could have happened. Arcueid and Akiha have come face to face. Arcueid is standing there placidly, while Akiha sits on the sofa looking similarly composed. But under the surface, while Arcueid's calm demeanor is just a natural consequence of her being an airhead, Akiha's is simply a veneer over her obvious hostility towards Arcueid. Akiha glances towards me.
どうしたんですか兄さんそんなところに立っていないでどうぞこちらに来て座ってください
Absolutely not. I have the feeling that I'd end up with a knife stuck in me the second I get within range of the sofa. There's no way I'm going near it.
ここでいいそれよりアキハこいつはだなその
How do I explain this to her? I can't just pass her off as a classmate. I get the feeling that saying I met her on the street would only make things worse.
その何ですか
Akiha pierces me with her unforgiving gaze. Fine. I've only passed the point where anything I say can make a difference. But if I want to make sure nobody gets hurt, and of course that my own peace isn't threatened, I've no choice but to come up with some kind of explanation. I've got to come up with an explanation, but before I get to that, under what pretense did this vampire happily standing there with a grin on her face, as though this is all no concern of hers, managed to make her way into the mansion in the first place? I find it pretty hard to believe that Akiha would invite a stranger into the living room.
その前にいいかなこいつなんて言ってやってきたの
Arcueid tilts her head perplexed.
兄さんのご友人ではないんですか？
Yes, yes, she is. Yep, yep.
この方はそう自称しましたが。
ああ、うん。友人といえば友人。
そうですか。私にも紹介していただけると嬉しいわ。兄さんのご友人でしたら無下にお帰りいただくわけにはいきませんし。
Yeah.
それはですね、アキハさん。
My words devolve into a mumble.
ふん、友人ね。
Perhaps having grown tired of being ignored, Arcueid forces her way into the sibling squabble Akiha and I are having.
あんなひどいことしておいて、そういうこと言うんだ。私、まだ体が痛いんだけど。
Don't worry about it.
I feel faint. So this is what people mean by vertigo. This feeling of drunkenness, of being forcibly torn up adrift from reality. Can't bear it.
それはどういった意味でしょうか？私の兄が身体面あるいは精神面においてあなたに危害を加えたとでも？失礼ですが、ご自分がどれほど信憑性のない発言をしているか理解していますか？
Don't worry about it.
ええ、バッチリね。でも安心して、そんなのもう気にしてないから。ちゃんと体で返してもらったし。
No.
なので、どうぞお構いなく。私は式を誘いに来ただけだもの。すぐに出かけるわ。
Yeah.
ね、そうでしょ、式。
Yep, yep.
This is bad. If I let this woman keep talking, it'll be the end of me.
いや
Laughing in frantic desperation, I run over to Arcueid and forcibly grab her by the arm.
ちょっと式、急に何するのよ。
I can't afford to sit here and listen to her complaints. I rush out of the living room and dragging Arcueid along after me and leaving a dumbfounded Tsukihime in my wake. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Isui's waiting in the lobby. I wonder what's going through her mind as she watches me rush by with Arcueid in tow. Thinking about it makes me feel like a pit is opening up in my stomach. I'll just put it out of my mind for the time being.
お出かけですか、式様。
Maybe.
不本意ながらすっごく申し訳ないんだけど、玄関の鍵は開けておいてほしい。
はい、かしこまりました。どうぞ、大変お気をつけて。
As Hisui bows courteously, I sprint past her and out of the mansion, making my escape.
Bruh.
痛いな。いきなり外に連れ出すなんて、式って常識ないんじゃない？
That has to be the least self-aware complaint of all time.
お前こそ何のつもりだよ。真正面からうちの屋敷に来るなんて正気じゃないぞ。もしかして俺の生活をぶっ壊すつもりなのか、このバカ女。
バカ女って、あなた私をバカにしてるの？
バカをバカって言ってんだから、それ以外何があるって言うんだバカ。反論があるなら聞いてやるから言ってみろ。
I've hit my boiling point. I've never been in such an inexplicable predicament before. I'm not going to be able to calm down without giving her a piece of my mind.
何よ、私は式に会いに来ただけじゃない。そんなに怒られるようなことしてないと思うけど。
会いに来ただけって、アルクエイド、お前本気で言ってるのか？
そうだけど何よ。何の問題もないからね。魔眼も使ってないし、極めて人間的なアプローチしたんだし。四季の妹さんにだって、四季の目のことも私が吸血鬼であることもちゃんと黙っててあげたんだから。
そこは言わなくてもわかる。そっちの話に関しちゃ常識ありそうだからな。
わかんないな。それじゃあなんでそんなに怒ってるのよ。
そっちがあんまりにも考えなしだからだよ。 この際だからはっきり言っておくぞ。周囲の目を考える。自分の特徴を自覚する。頼むから、もうちょっとおとなしめに行動すること。お前はいるだけで目立つんだから。
I feel refreshed now that I've gotten everything off my chest. Arcueid, on the contrary, looks like she has a lot she wants to say.
Wow, she got animal ears.
Wow. Good on you.
Oh.
Like an indignant cat, she glares at me with a sullen scowl on her face.
何よ、勝手なことばっかり言って。だいたいいるだけで目立つってどうしてよ。私、外見は人間と変わらないでしょ。
美人はいるだけで目立つんだよ。人間であるかどうかなんて関係ない。
I answer her clearly. Perhaps because my reply left little room for debate, Arcueid seems to have accepted it without a fuss.
まあ、こっちも言い過ぎた。
Mm-hmm.
こういう修羅場は初めてだったから、気が動転してたんだ。
別にいいよ。悪かったのは私の方みたいだし。
Arcueid nods rather obediently. Now that all's said and done, I start to feel a little guilty about thinking she had some sinister ulterior motive.
I need a drink.
で、
One sec.
どうしてうちに来たりしたんだ。いや、俺もお前に話があったから渡りに船だけど。
そうなの？私は単に式はどうしてるのかなって様子を見に来ただけなんだけど。
そうか、興味本位か。次は木の陰にでも隠れてこっそり見に来てくれ。できるだけ誰にも見つからないように。
Bruh.
俺にも見つからないように。
I feel somewhat tired all of a sudden. Well, this isn't the first time I've been jerked around as a result of her whims. At least she didn't let it slip. At least she didn't let slip anything about the situation to Akiha. I suppose that in her own way, she's doing the best she can to respect my position.
ともかくだ。真剣に話したいことがある。
Hmm?
ここじゃ落ち着かないから場所を変えたいんだけど、いいか？
いいけど、話って何よ？
すぐにわかる。そうだな。そろそろ人気もなくなるし、公園あたりがいいかもしれない。
I call out to her, signaling our departure, and begin to walk. Tilting her head to the side, Arcueid obediently falls in line behind me.
Is this the Tapukahamu? Tapukahamu?
話って何なの、式？
I think you mean Tsukihime.
Welcome, Alula, welcome. A wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes, it is the Tapukahamu.
吸血鬼のこと。
Wow.
お前、前に言ったよな。巷を騒がしている通り魔殺人は吸血鬼の仕業だって。
Arcueid nods affirmatively.
それじゃあ、今朝のニュースで新しい犠牲者が出たっていうのは知ってるか？昨日の夜に通り魔に殺されて血を抜かれたらしいんだけど。
Eh? Arcueid narrows her eyes. I feel a sudden tension. It's as though the solid ground I thought I'd been walking on was actually not, but a thin layer of ice. And now one wrong move could prove fatal.
それで？
Eh?
それでって。
Eh? I swallow nervously. Arcueid looks straight at me, pinning me down with her gaze. It was the sort of stare that made me feel as though she'd swoop down on me the instant I moved the muscle.
おかしいじゃないか、アルクエイド。ブローブは死んだ。なのに、どうしてまだ吸血鬼騒ぎが起こる？まさかとは思うけど、あれは、お前が。
If that blood is on your hands, then I...
はあ、もうそんなわけないでしょ。それは私じゃなくて 他の吸血鬼の仕業よ。
Oh, wonderful. A second vamp. Thank you. Okay, okay.
Arcueid's immediate and somewhat exasperated response quickly dispels the tension that had settled over us. I hold back the inexplicable sense of joy that rises in my throat. It's too soon to be relieved. While I'm glad to hear it was another vampire's doing, there's still something that doesn't add up.
他の吸血鬼の仕業って、そう次から次へと吸血鬼が出てくるのか。ブローブの後にすぐ新しい吸血鬼がやってきた。
まさかあの事件は初めから一人の吸血鬼の仕業よ。
Wait.
この町を食い物にする新しい吸血鬼なんてやってこないし、ブローブだってあの事件には全く関係ないわ。
Really?
It wasn't Vrov. Okay.
You're saying Vrov was totally unrelated?
関係ないって、それどういう意味だよ。
言った通りの意味だけど、もう式って切れるようでどこか抜けてるのね。いい？確かにブローブは吸血鬼だったけど、あいつは人の血を吸っていた？
What do you mean, has he ever sucked in? I mean, he's ripped their necks? And yeah, he has it?
吸っていたかって当然だろ。あいつはあんなに人間を片っ端から燃やして。
Wait, no, but yeah, No, he definitely did, didn't he? In the hallway with the lady? Did he just burn them? No, he had to have. Ah, I get it now. Why didn't I spot such an obvious discrepancy? All of the victims of the serial killers have been discovered with no injuries to their bodies, other than the fact that their blood was drained. That's not what Vrov would do. That guy burns corpses to a crisp. It's true that he sucks blood, but that's not the main way he kills people.
Ah, okay. So he does suck blood. She's guessing. No.
If you think about it, the people in the hotel weren't counted as victims in a murder case, but as casualties of a conflagration. A conflagration? Then that means Vrov has no connection to at all to the serial killings that have been happening in the city.
待ってくれ。
Really?
じゃあ
Come
吸血殺人事件は
on.
何なんだ。
Yeah, who's behind it then? What the fuck?
一体どこの誰があんな真似をしてやがる。
だからあの事件はブローブとは別の吸血鬼の仕業なの。私はその吸血鬼を殺すためにこの町にやってきたわ。
Then why did we kill Vrov?
ブローブが来た理由は、ちょっとあやふやになってきたわね。てっきり私を追いかけてきた一人かと思ったけど、ブローブにはそれだけの理性、使徒社会における協調性はなかったみたいだし。ま、そのあたりはもういっか。ブローブは死んだんだし。とにかくブローブとこの町に救っている吸血鬼は別物よ。ブローブは正真正銘無関係の第三者。私、標的がブローブだなんて言わなかったでしょ。ブローブにとっての標的は私だったけど、私にとっての標的はこの町で通り魔と言われている吸血鬼だけよ。
Then why did we...
I mean, I guess...
Whatever, okay.
シキ、まさかとは思うけど、ものすごく単純な勘違いしてたとか。
Yes, I have. I gasp in shock. Unfortunately, she's right on the money. Because she said that killing vampires was her objective, I immediately jumped to the wrong conclusion and assumed she came here to take down Vrov.
それじゃあ何か。あの夜ブローブと殺し合ったのは無意味なことだったっていうのか。
Yeah. I mean, yes, but actually no.
Because he probably would have done stuff after anyway, so it's fine. It's fine to kill him.
無意味じゃないわ。シキは私の代わりに戦ってくれたんじゃない。
Yes?
ま、シキさえ私を殺さなかったらその必要もなかったでしょうけど。
The strength drains from my body and I feel like I'm about to fall to my knees. The battle that night was all for nothing. Even though we killed Vrov, it didn't solve anything. There's still a vampire in this city. For a brief moment, I find myself blaming Arcueid. This isn't good. My mind churns with a mixture of despondency and self-loathing.
悪い。しつこいけど、最後に確認させてくれ。ブローブは吸血鬼殺人には関係なくて、ここ1ヶ月街を騒がしているのは別の吸血鬼ってことだな。
Yes.
そういうこと。でも、これは私が済ませる問題だから、式は気にしないでいいよ。
え？
そんなことより、ね
え。Arcueid looks up at me with a worryingly playful expression.
なんだよ。言っておくけど、ものすごく余裕がないぞ。
I can't get a handle on my feelings. If she says anything weird now, I feel like my legs will simply give way.
ちょっとした疑問よ。二人でブローブを倒した時のこと。ねえ、なんで3分だったの？
なんでって、何が？
式、3分しか時間はないって言ってたじゃない。どうして3分なのか全然わからなくて。
あのな、言っただろ。あそこは海の底みたいなものだって。だから3分しか無理だって言ったんだ。
海の底だと3分なの？
Yes. Thank goodness. If I still had any energy left, I'm sure my retort would have been instantaneous.
まあ、そうだよ。人間はお前みたいなのと違って、それぐらいしか水に潜っていられないの。
何よ。私だってちょっとは寒かったわ。
A bit chilly.
海の底だって何時間も潜ってたら退屈だし。
That wasn't a big boat. A bit chilly, you say. It was so bad that I thought I was going to die.
下を向いてどうしたの？
いや、ちょっとめまいがして。
I am looking respectful.
いや、気にしてくれ。
Why are you looking down?
実際海に潜ったら3分だって怪しいからな。人間はか弱いんだから。頑丈なお前と一緒にするな。吸血鬼は吸血鬼同士、我慢比べでもやっててくれ。
At my wit's end, I shoo Arcueid away with my hand.
ま、今更言っても始まらないか。お前たちが化け物じみてるのは身に染みてるし。いい。ブローブのことは俺がバカだった。
Oh, she angry. Oh.
それよりアルクエイド。
I managed to get my feelings under control and raise my head to resume the conversation, but... Grumpy. What is this face that she's making?
アルクエイド？
何よ、式の意地悪。どうせ私は人間じゃないですよーだ。
Pouting, Arcueid turns away and begins to walk at a brisk pace.
おい、ちょっと待て。どこ行く気だよ。
人間な式には関係ない。ついてこないでよね。
Arcueid must really be mad, as she continues to walk away without looking back. That woman. Where the hell does she think she's going? Maybe I touched the nerve. In retrospect, maybe I was a bit too cruel.
いや、でも、そんな悪口言ってないぞ。
I didn't, right? Though seeing how upset she is, I feel like I'm the one at fault. Actually, it is completely my fault. I'm the worst.
ああ、もう、悪かった。今のは俺が悪かった。だから待て、止まれってば。
Flustered, I chase after her white back. I'm definitely not doing this because I feel guilty about making her upset. There's just something important we still need to discuss. Arcueid cuts through the city nightlife. An unwavering white silhouette with fluttering gold hair. That figure is the same one I saw when I first laid eyes on her. Or perhaps it's closer to how she looked as she faced down Vrov, standing tall amidst the crumbling wreckage. The conflicting feelings I'd been wrestling with up until now vanish. There's no doubt in my mind now. The figure ahead of me is the platonic ideal of a huntress.
Arcueid.
Without so much as a glance back at me, Arcueid just keeps walking.
話を聞けって。どこに行くつもりだよ。
The woman in white does not stop. It'd be pathetic if I were to give up on trying to get through to her after coming this far. It'd be pathetic, but for now, I'll just hold my tongue and follow after her. Our wordless march continues, punctuated only by the sound of our footsteps. Until Arcueid abruptly stops in her tracks and glares over her shoulder at me.
ついてこないで。あなたみたいな普通の人間にいられると迷惑だってわからない？
No.
人間で悪かったな。何をしているのか教えてくれたら帰るよ。
式には関係ないからほっといて。
Arcueid faces forward and resumes walking in a huff. Great. Looks like I'm in for more taciturn prowling around the city. This place looks spooky. What? We have left the city's downtown area behind us and are approaching a deserted railway underpass when Arcueid stops dead in her tracks.
見つけた。
Arcueid's voice was cold, like it belonged to a completely different person. A shiver runs down my spine. All I can see from back here is her posture, but even that is enough for me to sense the scale of murderous aura that now envelops her.
何を
Planning on doing? I start to ask, but fall silent. I know what she's about to do, even without hearing it put into words. What emanates from Arcueid right now is an unmistakable murderous intent.
おい、何考えてるんだ、お前。
Arcueid does not respond. Her gaze is trained on an average-looking man in a business suit as he walks along.
式、メガネを外してあの人間を見てみなさい。
Okay.
あの人間って、前にいるあの男。
早く、私が何をしているか知りたいのなら質問は後よ。
はあ、あんまり街中で見たくはないんだけど。
It looks okay.
I take off my glasses. A light headache pulses in my temple, and in exchange for that pain, I faintly see the lines of the walls and the ground.
確認しておくけど、あなたの線は生物の方がはっきり見える？
ああ、その方がより確かに見える。
でしょうね。あなたは生物だから鉱物の死を理解できない。形の上の摩耗というカテゴリーの結果は見えても、鉱物たちにとっての終わりは見えない。そのためには彼らと同じ視点、同じ価値観を得なくてはいけない。死を見るためには命を理解しないといけないから。それじゃあついでに聞くけど、今の式から見てあの人間はどんな感じ？
I don't think there's anything particularly odd. Oh. I reflexively take a step back. The hell is that? It's true that any human would have those lines, except normally there are few. They're few enough that you can easily count them, even as they slowly shift like flowing geometric patterns. But this... the hell is this? The lines race across the entirety of his body. They smear themselves across him from head to toe, making it look as though all these veins and arteries have floated to the surface. I can't even make out what the man looks like underneath them all. I feel like throwing up. That thing goes against everything I know. It isn't a man with lines of death. with lines of death that have taken the appearance of a man.
四季にはどう見える？私としては四季には普通の人間に見えていてほしいんだけど。
I can't even muster a response to Arcueid's words. Right now, it's taking all I've got to stop myself from throwing up.
そう。残念ね。四季はあれにも死を見てしまっているなんて。
なんか普通とは違うけど線は
やっぱり死者さえ殺せるのね、あなたは。命があるなしの問題さえ無関係。動いているもの、破壊できるものなら例外なく停止させる。何よ、本当の化け物はあなたの方じゃない。四季が見ている通り、あれはもう人間とは呼べないわ。死という負債を他人の血でごまかし続ける吸血鬼だから。
Arcueid sets off at a brisk pace. She makes a beeline for the ordinary-looking man.
おい、アルクエイド！
四季はそこにいて。
Maybe the man noticed Arcueid coming for him, as in the blink of an eye he vanished from my field of view. But rather than simply vanishing, it'd be more accurate to say that he skittered away at a superhuman speed. As though trying to hide, the man flees into the darkness of the underpass. Arcueid is nowhere to be seen. She too has stepped out from under the illumination of the rustling street lamps, into the darkness so deep as to be impenetrable to the human eye.
Badump.
The pounding of my heart sounds uncomfortably close. The night is still young. The headlights of a passing car. The sound of a train thundering overhead. Despite being at the center of this cacophony, I cannot feel the presence of a single person other than myself.
Badump.
My glasses. I need to put my glasses back on, and quickly. If I don't, I'll end up seeing something unpleasant. I'll end up staring straight into the abyss, and so deep as to make everything I've seen up to this point pale in comparison.
Badump.
Where my body won't move. My unfettered eyes, able to perceive the threadbare nature of this rundown world, are drawn as though entranced to the dark void Arcueid vanished into, and I gaze, transfixed across the threshold of darkness. Suddenly silence falls. The sound of the wind, the scent of the ground. Everything abruptly freezes in place. The world beneath the moon reaches absolute zero. From somewhere near the limits of my perception, there emanates an unfamiliar sound. There's no way I should be able to see it. And there's no way the sound should be able to reach me. And yet, I saw it. The sound of death clashing against death. There's no question that these eyes could discern it. My vision is stained crimson. Why can these eyes perceive the death of something that I shouldn't even be able to see? My glasses. If I don't put on my glasses, I'm gonna lose my mind. Fighting back the urge to vomit that's welling up in my throat, I put my glasses back on with trembling hands. Ooh. Light and sound return. Getting a firm grip on myself, I take a good look at my surroundings and see nothing but an ordinary underpass. There's nobody around here, and there aren't many cars, but this is still a wholly unremarkable nighttime scene in the city. This is a place without danger, a place where danger cannot even be allowed to exist, the sphere of civilization that humans call home. My breathing is ragged. Even though I'm wearing my glasses, there are still after images of the death from earlier lingering in the corners of my eyes. It gives me the creeps.
Arcueid.
With faltering footsteps, Arcueid emerges from the darkness, her breathing even more labored than my own.
Shiki. そっか。まだ残ってたんだ。
With a seemingly embarrassed look on her face, she hurries past me, lurching as she does so. Her gait is feeble, like that of an invalid. Truth be told, my own nausea still has yet to subside. With Arcueid visibly in pain right in front of me, all other thoughts are pushed aside.
待てよ。一体どうしたんだお前。
I grab hold of Arcueid's shoulder as she attempts to leave. With vacant eyes, she slowly turns to look at me.
大丈夫よ。少し疲れただけだから構わないで。
Oh.
式には全然関係がないんだから。
バカ、疲れているなら休め。変に汗かいてるし、どう見ても重症だぞ。
Panting as I fight to control my breathing, I grab hold of her arm.
何よ。そういう式だって今にも倒れそうな顔してる。
俺のはただの貧血、いつものことだ。人を気にしてる余裕があるなら自分の体も気遣えよ。
いいのよ。どうせ気遣っても無駄なんだから。
Arcueid's breathing is so faint that my heart aches for her.
まさかお前あの時の傷。
I couldn't bring myself to finish asking whether it had healed yet. I mean, she got that wound protecting me after all. Her head still hung low. Arcueid doesn't answer. But silence is not denial, but confirmation, I think.
もう何度言わせるんだこのバカ。そんな体でおとなしくできないのか。
おとなしくしてるつもりなんだけどな。
全然してない。人間離れしてるからって治りきってないのに出歩く奴がいるか。
I notice that I'm genuinely angry and come to a realization. I can't leave her be. This woman truly is Oh no. This one truly is an unbelievable pain in the ass, but in the end, I just can't leave her alone.
お前、本当に何してんだよ。ほら、黙ってないで答えろ。話してくれるまで、お前から離れないからな。
I grasp both of her white shoulders. Arcueid still doesn't look up, but I think I can make out a faint nod.
もう、割としつこいのね、あなたって。いいわ。それじゃあ場所を変えましょう。どのみち、さっきのも外れだったみたいだし。
Arcueid brushes off my arm and does an about face. It seems that our destination is not the downtown area, but the deserted park. We've returned to the park. Arcueid must have recuperated while we walked, and she's now back to her usual self.
あっさり元に戻ってるし。もしかしてさっきは油断して傷を負ったとかいうオチじゃないだろうな。
違うよ。傷が治りかけなのは本当だってば。
治りかけなのは本当だ。本当じゃないことも言ったってことだよな。
何その言い方。すっごくいやらしいんですけど。
お前の言動が怪しすぎるんだよ。
Shush.
文句があるならさっき何をしてたのか話してみろ。大方予想はついてるけど何をあんな痛がってたんだ。
さて、それじゃあ式のお望み通り私が何をしていたかを話してあげましょう。
What a brazen way to change the subject. Oh, this is what I really wanted to know about anyway. I'll circle back to her physical condition later.
じゃあ確認からさせてくれ。さっきのやつは吸血鬼の手足になってる死者だな。あれの大元がお前の本当の敵。
なんと、今度は話が早いのね、式。
そいつはどうも。俺だって少しは頭は回るからね。さっき。
良きかな良きかな。式の可愛い勘違いはブローブのことだけってことね。
可愛いって言うな。仕方ないだろ。あの時は自分のことだけで手一杯だったんだから。
自分のことだけで手一杯ね。ま、そういうことにしておいてあげましょう。
Seemingly amused, Arcueid twirls around and peers at my face. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
いいから話。さっきの男はもうとっくに死んでいたんだな。
そうよ。あれはあいつのしもべだから始末しただけ。下級の使者だったけど、それでも放っておくと人間を殺して力を蓄えられてしまうから。シキ、ホテルで話した吸血鬼の話、覚えてる？
Yep. Of course, I nod back. The ecology of vampires. Suzerains and how they make use of their minions. Those vampires grow their clans by hunting humans, killing them, and then turning them into underlings, known as the dead. That done, they conceal themselves and leave the work of collecting blood to their underlings. I remember Arcueid referring to them as suzerains, or the traditional type. Vampires that fit the stereotype of being immortal and weak to sunlight.
それはもう教えてもらった。じゃあ、お前の追っている敵とやらが殺人事件の吸血鬼で間違いないんだな。
ええ、間違いないわ。たとえあいつが手を下したのは最初の一人だけだとしても、そこから発生した死者たちの殺人は全部あいつの成果になる。だから。
さっきみたいに街を歩き回って吸血鬼のしもべを探していた。そうすれば親の居場所がわかるのか？
強く親に結びついたしもべならね。けど今のところ外ればっかり。棺、敵の潜伏場所が見つからないのはそれだけ多くの死者を使っているからよ。あいつが自分の手を汚すのは数回だけ。あとは死者にした人間を操って自分は眠っているだけで領地を広げていく。この町の犠牲者は100人を超えている。あなたたちが騒いでいる犠牲者なんて人知れずいなくなった人間の一部分に過ぎないわ。
Yet again, I hear something that makes my blood run cold. 2 days ago, I thought Vtuber was the one responsible. Because of that, I channeled this feeling towards the sole aim of killing him. In doing so, I was able to maintain my spiritual equilibrium. But I no longer can. This tragedy is still ongoing. Over 100 victims. Over 100 people attacked, drained of their blood, and finally killed by those things that were once their fellow humans. Those victims that have their blood sucked then become new monsters in turn. Ambulant corpses, just like that mass of lines from earlier, that go on to prowl the city. 3 days ago, I remember all the people staying at the hotel whose lives were extinguished. Even though I was there, I did witness that scene unfold in its entirety. As a result, I could only imagine it in words. I couldn't viscerally feel the extent of the horrifying violence that had taken place. The same is true now.
I want the...
Even though I've just been told a vampire that sucks the blood of humans is slowly expanding their dominion in this city, it's not enough to provoke any emotions in me. However, what if, without meaning and without warning, someone close to me was killed like that? How would I feel then? I imagine for only a single moment realizing the immorality behind such a thought. I picture Akiha's body sucked of its blood and discarded like so much garbage. The feeling of vertigo, as though my brain were being slowly whittled away, gives way to exhaustion. My heart, which ought to have been burning with indignation, is strangely calm. I tell myself that now is the time to think, not to tremble. I'm cognizant of the fact that under these circumstances, such an event could still happen at any time. I could beat myself up over my stupidity for not realizing we're still in danger for some other time.
やっぱり怒ったわね、シキ。私があなたに話したくなかったのは、これは捕食される側。人間にとってどしがたいものだからよ。シキにしてみれば、吸血鬼の行為は認められないものでしょうから。
Yep, totally.
Of course it is. I couldn't define for you the border between good and evil or right and wrong. But even so, I can say with certainty that I feel this is something I cannot abide. Even people whose faces I don't know have lived their lives and accumulated a past. And in proportion to that past, they each still have some amount of future remaining to them. Even if that future has nothing to do with me or is something I can't even begin to comprehend, I can't cast it aside so easily. I wouldn't want to be killed for sport like that either. Such a death would be far too frustrating. Such a death would be far too lamentable. Such a death would be far too meaningless.
でも安心していいよ、シキ。吸血鬼たちの天敵はこの国にはいないみたいだけど、今は私がちゃんといるんだから。言ったでしょ、私の目的は町を犯している吸血鬼を退治することだって。
I don't know what happened to her dispassionate demeanor from earlier, but Arcueid has done a complete 180 and is now quite chirpier. I have to say, her words are reassuring. I'm aware of how amazing she is and the lengths she'll go in order to protect human life. She defended the city against Vrov's cold waves with no regard for her own safety. There's something that just doesn't make sense to me about that. Right up until we fought Vrov, I harbored doubts about her, as any human would.
それがわからない。アルクエイドだって吸血鬼なんだろ。どうしてそんな人間の味方みたいなことをするんだよ。
私、別に人間の味方をしているわけじゃないよ。それ以外にやることがないからやってるだけだもの。
She has nothing better to do?
ま、そんなことをやっているから狙われるんでしょうけど、そこはそれ、必要経費みたいなものかしら。
いや、お前の言いたいことはまるでわからないけど、その例えだけは間違ってるぞ。
まあまあ、細かいことは気にしないで。そんな引く手あまたヘイトいっぱいな私だったけど、シキがブローブを倒してくれたでしょ。これで障害は何もなくなったわ。あとはこの町に潜んでいる敵を見つけてなんとか始末してみせるから。シキは今まで通り普通の生活に戻って私たちなんかに関わらなくていいんだよ。
ああ、うん、そりゃ嬉しいけど。
Are you really going to be okay on your own? Those words surface in my mind, but I shake my head to drive them off. What's wrong with me? Why do I feel so guilty about making her take on such a dangerous task alone?
シキ？何よ、また難しい顔しちゃって。シキの聞きたい話ってこれで終わりでしょ？他には何もないと思うけど。
You're wrong. There's still a ton of things I want to ask you, but more importantly...
バカ。そりゃ難しい顔ぐらいする。これは俺たちが住んでいる町の問題なんだから。
だから気にしなくていいんだって。これからは毎日町を見て回って、もうこれ以上犠牲者は出さないようにするし。それとも、そんなに私の性能を信用できない？
I'll admit that I don't really want to get involved. But those words... I'm the one who lives here, so I should be the one stepping up to say that I'll protect the city, not Arcueid.
アルクエイド、その、お前の言う敵は強いのか？あのブローブよりもっと。
まさか、ブローブはああ見えてもその一人よ。この町に救った吸血鬼は、ブローブより純度は落ちるわ。
そうか。ならお前がやられることはないんだな。
断言はできないわね。ちょっと前までの私なら問題なかったと思うけど、今の私は病み上がりだもの。 敵の方が力をつけている可能性が高いわ。
Wait. Hold up. I was just nodding along without really listening. Arcueid is... recuperating?
いやいや、風邪でもひいたのかお前。というか吸血鬼って風邪ひくのか。
ええ、とんでもなく野蛮な通り魔の一つね。塔の式っていう名前の悪質なウイルスなんだけど、ご存知かしら。
ああ、いや、それはその。
I just stirred up a hornet's nest.
冗談よ。式の傷はもう治ってるわ。ただちょっと治すのに想定以上の力を使って疲れてるだけ。痛いのはブローブから受けた傷の方。こっちはまだ外を塞いでいるだけだから。
Arcueid gently caresses her abdomen. That wound too. A needless injury she sustained because she was protecting me. I'm speechless. I'm the root cause of everything that's ailing Arcueid. So how? How could she continue to smile so unguardedly around me? Well, unguardedly at me, without so much as a trace of reproach.
やめろよ。せめて傷が治るまでどこかで休んでればいいじゃないか。今さら1日や2日休んだって変わらないだろう。
ダメよ。ブローブと戦ったことで敵も私が来たことに気づいているはずだもの。休んだりしたらそれこそ私が弱っていると知らせるようなものだわ。
だからって今夜みたいな真似を続けていくのか。
ええ、敵の居場所がわからない以上、あいつに血を送っている死者を片っ端から潰していくしかない。そうして血の供給源を断てば本体が直に血を吸いに現れる。
それがもし明日だったらどうするんだ。弱っているのを隠したところでそんな体じゃ逆に殺されるようなものなんだろう。なら
I start to beg her not to push herself, but trail off and look down at the ground. It's just as Arcueid said. If she were to reveal how weak she is, then the enemy would likely take the opportunity to go in for the kill. And above all, I realized something during those 2 days. When it comes to the battle, Arcueid is strictly no nonsense. She doesn't fight with an eye towards minimizing her own injuries. The sole focus of her strategy is ensuring that her opponent is defeated. Etiquette prioritizes achieving her goal above all else. She isn't about to let herself be talked out of it. Etiquette will not stop. But if I let her go, I won't be able to talk to her like this anymore. This girl is so unafraid of her own death that it's enough to drive me mad. So then why do I find myself picturing her smile? If only I hadn't seen that face. If only she acted more like a vampire. Maybe I never would have developed these feelings.
どうしたの、シキ？体震わせちゃって、もしかしてトイレ？
Do you need to go toilet?
No, I don't think he does. How can she be so unreasonably calm about all this? I raise my head. Before my eyes stands the figure of a woman in white. I can't pretend she never existed. I don't understand what this emotion is. All I know is that the 2 days I spent with Arcueid is something I'll never forget. That's why the idea of parting ways with her here and now, then spending tomorrow night wondering whether she's alive or dead, then the next night, and the next, forever regretting my decision and kicking myself for being such a fool, would be unbearable.
勘弁してくれ。ただでさえ両目が壊れてるのに頭まで壊れかけてる。
I've already had my fill of vampires. I recall the fight against Vrov. The fear I felt back then while skirting the precipice of death is so burned into my mind that simply thinking back on it sends a shiver down my spine. This time will be no different. He's no ordinary opponent. There's absolutely no need for me to get involved. Arcueid said she'd take care of it, so I should just leave it to her. And yet, even though that reasoning makes total sense to me, I still can't allow her to go alone.
もうどうかしちまったのか俺は。
I kick the ground. Whatever logic I come up with, however I try to persuade myself it's useless. I'm furious at my own stubbornness.
何？どうしたのシキ？いきなり怒り出しちゃって。
そりゃ怒りたくもなる。なんだって俺はあんな目にあったっていうのに、こんなたわごとを口にしようとしているのかって。
I start to feel even dizzier after saying that. If I saw my idiotic self in the mirror right now, I would smash it without a second thought.
落ち着いて。普通じゃないわよ、あなた。
ああ、普通じゃないさ。
Baba Booey Big Chungus. Baba Booey Big Chungus. Hello, A873. Welcome, welcome. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. We're reading Tsukihime.
Cursing, I scratch my head in annoyance. I don't want to admit it, but I've already made up my mind. Heck, I even went and said it out loud just then. How am I? Doing quite well, doing quite well. Hope you've been well as well.
もう全然わかんない。ちゃんと説明しなさい。さっきからこんなことって何がこんなことだって言うの？
だからお前の体が治りきるまで手伝ってやるって、そう言いたいんだよ俺は。
Arcueid stares back at me, dumbfounded. As for me, I finally, or perhaps I barely, or rather, enough of that. I told her exactly what I wanted to say, and have calmed down at last.
シキ、今の本当？
Yes, I do.
I groan. I still can't even believe it myself.
私、ちょっと聞き損ねちゃった。お願いだから、もう一度言って。
Humph. I groan even louder.
But it's too late to regret it now. The moment I uttered those words, I lost every right I had to lie to myself.
早く。私、今のセリフもう一度聞きたい。
Arcueid's coaxing voice is little more than a whisper. Averting my gaze from her efflorescent smile, I do my best to try and speak in an irritated voice.
だからアルケイドが弱ってるのは俺の責任だし、街にはびこってる化け物を放っておけないし、弱っているお前一人じゃ頼りないから、俺でよかったら手伝ってやるって言ったんだ。
What is this, a love story? No, not really. She wants me to say Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Arcueid's eyes light up. Oh! She grabs my hands and shakes it up and down with glee.
まあ、俺じゃ大した役には立たないだろうけど、いないよりはマシだろ。
シキが手伝ってくれるなら、怖いものなんて何もないんだから。
Yeah, let's go Booey Big Chungus. Let's go fuck up some vampire. Baba Booey Big Chungus. Shake, shake, shake.
Arcueid still hasn't let go of my hand. I'm afraid that sooner or later her brute strength will tear my hand clean off. But even so, I have no desire to stop her. How do I put this? She really was smiling so exuberantly.
Baba Booey.
That was enough. I felt with some small amount of pride that my foolish decision wasn't a mistake after all. Oh. By the time I'm finally released from Arcueid's one-sided handshake, it's almost 9 o'clock. Just thinking about everything that's happened since I got back is enough to make my head hurt. But now that I've decided to help out, the night is still far from over.
Wow.
From here on, the vampire extermination begins in earnest.
それで これからどうするんだ？やっぱり街を歩いて死者を探すのか？
そうね。この町にいる死者を全滅させれば親元の吸血鬼は出てこざるを得なくなるでしょうし、今はそれぐらいしか手はないけど。
Arcueid gives me a look, as if asking whether I'm really okay with it.
いいも何も、俺はアルクエイドに付き合うだけだ。餅は餅屋って言うし、専門家に従うよ。
This girl's just standing there watching me, an outsized grin on her face.
なんだよ。おかしなこと言ったか？
シキ、やけに素直だなーって。
Maybe I should be a little more brusque with her from now on. I get the feeling that if I keep buttering her up like this, she'll ask me to do something outrageous again.
行くぞ。街を回ればいいんだろ。さっきの高架線下とかもう一度調べてみるか？
あの区域はもういいわ。死者は互いに食い合わないよう、犠牲者の数を一区間に集中させないよう、それぞれ活動ルートを定めているの。一晩に食事をさせる死者の数は決まっている。今夜はさっきので打ち止めだと思うけど、せっかく式がいるんだし、もうちょっと探索してみましょうか。
互いに食い合わないようにか。
ババブイビッグチャンゲス。ババブイビッグチャンゲス。
親元の吸血鬼にしてみれば、血液の採集は娯楽じゃなくて生存するための必要作業、仕事だもの。ルーチンワークを良しとするのよ。
貴重な労働力ってわけか。でもそれだと向こうも手を打ってこないか。アルクエイドが数を減らしているんだから、ここから先は増員させるか、あるいは死者を引っ込めて姿を隠すとか。
基本的には出し渋る方でしょうね。けど吸血鬼である以上、どうしても他者から血や精を搾取しないと生存していられない。親元は私に狙われていると分かっていても、最低限の食料を得るために死者を出すしかないってわけ。
I see. Arcueid's modus operandi is to attack the enemy's supply lines. Working out where in the city the sire is sleeping would be far too difficult. So instead of searching for him, she plans to smoke him out. Cut off from their workers and by extension the nourishment they need to keep on living, the sire will eventually have no choice but to take action themselves. As soon as the enemy goes on the move, Arcueid will be able to sense their presence. That's where the vampire slaying comes in. Just like when we put our lives on the line to kill Vtuber, we'll face the one responsible for these incidents head on and exterminate him.
状況は分かった。とにかく夜になったら街を歩き回ってまだ活動している死者を見つければいいんだな。
ええ。それでシキ、あなたにはメガネを外してついてきてほしいんだけど、いい？
メガネを外してってなんで？
その方が確実だから。私は人間と人間じゃないものの気配を感じ取れる。あなたは生者と死者の違いが視覚情報として読み取れる。索敵方法は大いに越したことはないでしょ。
I understand what Arcueid is getting at. I was the one that said we should cooperate, so it's not like I can refuse. But moving around without my glasses on is...
あなたの体に大きく負担をかけることになるでしょうね。でもいい機会だからもう一度だけ確認したいの。シキが大丈夫だと判断するのならメガネを外してついてきて。
Walking around the city without my glasses on now. In the 7 years since I've received these glasses, I've never once tried something like that. I mean, just seeing things with my glasses off is enough to give me a headache. It's easy to imagine what would happen to me if I were to then go wandering around the city without them. Even so, I'll be fine. It's just a headache after all. It's nothing compared to the pain that Arcueid is dealing with right now.
いいよ。メガネを外してついていく。
Drink.
それで型がつくって言うんなら安いもんだ。
そう。なら行きましょう。
I take a single deep breath, remove my glasses, and walk towards the city.
Bruh.
Walking side by side, Arcueid and I move through the crowds. The last time I walked amidst a landscape this riddled with scribbles was back when I was first hospitalized. I don't feel any dizziness so far. I guess simply looking around isn't enough to give me a headache. Though the thin lines that are present on the buildings aren't the real issue. It's when I look at the lines on the people walking down the street that I start to feel ill. I just can't stop my thoughts from turning dark. It's not as though the people covered in lines make me feel sick per se. What makes the bile rise in my throat is the fact that they remind me how cheaply, how easily the life of a human being can be snuffed out. We wander amidst the bustle of the city's nightlife. Arcueid does not utter a single word the entire time. She simply marches resolutely onward as though she has some ultimate destination in mind. Over the course of about 2 hours, we visited every prominent location around the station. In the end, we didn't turn up even a single person with the abnormal lines we were searching for. Hmm?
シキ、メガネをかけていいわ。やっぱり、もう今夜の死者はいないみたい。
I put on my glasses. I feel a sense of relief as my vision returns to normal.
そんな簡単に見切りをつけていいのか？まだ1回しか街を見回ってないけど。
一度見回れば十分よ。気配っていうのはね、多少はその場所に残留するものなの。でも街には死者の気配がどこにもなかった。食料を調達する死者はさっきので最後だったのかも。ここからはもう一段階上の死者を潰していくわ。
不機嫌そうだな、アルクエイド。
当然でしょ。せっかくシキがいてくれるのに空振りなんだもの。はあ。かっこいいとこ見せようと思ったの。
Now that I know what's got her down, I start to feel the urge to do something about it.
まあ、俺は無駄骨でも気にしないけど、そんなにご不満なら、もう一度街を回っても構わないぞ。俺も今度は意識を集中してみる。もしかしたら何か見つけられるかもしれない。
ダメよ。今夜はこれ以上、あなたに無理はさせられない。
無理って、別に俺は無理なんか。
してるのよ。シキ本人は気がついてないだけ。今だって顔色すごく青いし。ほら。
Arcueid firmly ushers me over to the bench. Well, if we're being honest, I do actually feel like I'm on the verge of being sick. I'll just take a seat for the time being. Even that small comfort is enough to make me let slip a sigh. I wonder if sitting down released the tension that had been holding me together, or if the fatigue that had been building up simply hit me all at once, despite my shoulders feeling heavier. I feel a lot better overall. I guess that's proof I really was pushing myself.
ありがとう。助かった。でも、これぐらい今までの頭痛に比べたら軽度だぞ。意識を保っていられないめまいに比べれば、危ないこともないんだし。
If I rest here for a little while, breathing deeply as I allow the night breeze to play over me, my nausea should fade in due time. My problems are trifling compared to Arcueid's wounds. That's why you don't have to worry. Arcueid?
弱い生き物のくせに無理はしないで。失神しなければ軽度。それは間違いよ。あなたの目に軽いも重いもない。あまり見えないものを見ようとしないで。そんなに脳を酷使したら廃人になりかねないわ。
廃人って誰が？
I mean, yeah, I guess you could fry his brain with Bruh.
あなたがよ、どうしてそんなに危機感がないの？こんな希少な魔眼持ちなのに平和主義者とか美味しい獲物にも程があるし、よく今まで生きてこられたわね。ひょいってつまんで食べられるわよ、普通。
In what country would that be considered normal? Or rather, I'd appreciate it if you'd stop looking down on one of the most law-abiding countries in the world. Call me a peace-loving idiot, but isn't it amazing that we've maintained this degree of public order for so long?
わかった。あんまり言いたくなかったけど、ちゃんと説明してあげる。いい？四季は生物の死は見やすくて、鉱物の死は見にくいって言ってたでしょ？それはね、結局はあなたの脳の回線の問題なの。物の死、その因果を見るということは、実際は見ているではなく、読んでいるという意味合いに近いわ。すべての事象には大元になった原因、この宇宙の始まりにしておしまいの地点。そこにはすべてを記録したものがある。記録というよりはあるものだから、情報とは呼べない。ただあるだけ。それ自体に意思はないし、方向性もありえない。原因を垂れ流しているだけの根源の渦みたいなものね。この世界にあるものは、その渦から流れ、派生して、今の形に行き着いたわ。私も四季も、吸血種も人間も、元はそこから始まった原子に過ぎない。もう離れすぎ、複雑になりすぎてしまって、原因である始まりに戻ることはできないけど、とにかくそういった位置があるのはわかるでしょ？でもね、たとえどんなに大元からかけ離れた形になっても、派生した存在である以上、とても細い線だけど糸はつながっているのよ。すべての根源、すべての始まりと終わりを記録したレコード。それとつながっているものは、物事の終わりを知っていることになる。高等動物の脳は受信と送信を司る機能なんだけど、大抵の人間はその回線が自分に対してのみで閉じてしまっている。けど、中には潜在的に回線が開いている人間もいる。何の魔術回路も利用せず、超越種でさえないのに、超常現象を可能とする人間。これをね、魔術師たちは超能力者って区分している。人間でありながら、生まれついて何らかの魔術回路そのものという突然変異体。例えば何の神秘も学んでいないのに、物の死を見てしまう人間とか、ね。
I'm sorry, Arcueid. I know you've gone out of your way to tell me this, but my brain can't keep up with this conversation at all.
いいわよ、式は理解なんかしなくて。言っておきたいのは、あんまり見えにくいものを自分から見ようとしちゃダメってこと。私は見えないから断言はできないけど、式が見てしまってるものは線だけじゃないはずよ。あなたには線の他に、その起点である点も見えているんじゃない？
She's spot on. When I'm concentrating on trying to see the lines, if I try hard enough, I also start to see the points as well. In fact, during the final moment I spent face to face with Rov, I could see a giant vortex-like point inside his body. Now that I think back on it, that wasn't the only time I've seen them. Whenever I do, I'm assailed by a phantom pain, as though my brain is being hacked off at the stem. I lose consciousness, but I definitely still see those points.
そうだ。あの時、お前を殺した時も確かに点が見えてた。何個もあって、線は点と点を結ぶように流れてた。
To use a metaphor, they were like blood vessels. The lines are blood vessels, and those points are something that gives rise to those blood vessels.
物の死にやすい線とその死。なんでしょうね、それ。式はその気になれば鉱物の死を見ることだって可能だと思う。けどそのために脳が生物の範疇から鉱物の範疇に回線を開いて、鉱物の死を知ろうとしてしまう。それは本来ありえない運動よ。脳は過負荷を起こして、式は間違いなく使い物にならなくなる。
Stop working.
それは この目が死を見なくなってくれるってこと？
まさか。ねえシキ、無茶をしてオーバーブローしたエンジンはどうなるのかしら。
そりゃジャンク行きだろ。一度でも焼き付いたエンジンは二度と使い物にならな。
So that's what she meant. Simply put, the headaches I get from looking at death are like the screaming of an engine pushed past its red line.
わかった。ただ見えているだけなら問題はないでしょうけど、見えないものを見ようとするのだけはやめて。せいぜい血管が破裂して脳に負荷がかかるぐらいに留めておきなさい。その先に踏み込んだら生きながらにして石になるなんて末路になりかねない。そのメガネを作ってくれた魔術師には感謝しないとね。大抵の超能力者は自分の力がどんなに危険なものか知らずに使用して自分から廃人になってしまうから。まあ人間でありながら人間の社会では生きられない存在的不適合者だから、その方が幸せなのかもしれないけど。
どうやらそれが私がここに来た理由のようだし、私が君を以前の生活に戻してあげる。
Having said that, Sensei had then created these glasses for me. I owe such an incredible amount to her that it makes my heart ache. On that day, 7 years ago, a person saved the Tonoshiki of today in more ways than one.
ところで。
As I sat there, grappling with my brain. One check. As I sat there grappling with these profound emotions, Arcueid popped up right beside me and peered into my face. My heart can't take that right now. We just had a good talk, so I would have liked it if she'd been a bit more respectful.
なんだよ。
Wow, what a pretty fountain.
メガネならもう渡さないぞ。
そうじゃなくて、これからどうする？もう死者は出てきそうにないし、今夜はここでお別れにする？
The time is now 11 o'clock. The curfew of the Tono residence has long been broken. We should probably go back home, just in case. I don't feel sleepy yet, but it seems like my body needs some rest. Today has been a very eventful day. Besides, one could say that I've been dragged around by her since the evening began.
そうだな。確かに、そろそろ帰らないと。
まあ、そうよね。シキも疲れてるようだし。怖い妹さんの目があるしね。
Oh no.
いや、怖くないし。
I do still have to face her sooner or later, though. Besides that...
で、明日からの予定は？
Oh, my
どこで
dragon
待ち合わ
died.
せる？
Bruh, 1 second. Banny. Okay.
ここでいいわ。時間は10時ちょうどで。ナイフ忘れずに持ってきてね。
Well, that goes without saying. As if I would go around searching for vampires unarmed.
でも、10時か。
Mansion's lights are turned off at 9:30, and it's prohibited for anyone to enter or leave after 10. It'll be hard to sneak out of the mansion behind Hisui and Kohaku-san's back. I always suggest pushing the time back to 11 o'clock, but figure I'll just make it work somehow. After all, the night is shorter than it seems. The more time we have searching together, the better.
よかった。それじゃあね、シキ。また明日、ここで会いましょう。
Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. What happened to the troublemaking attitude she's had all day? Having said her farewells in such an incredibly gentle tone of voice, she takes relief.
なんだよ。
I grumble as though to distract myself from the feelings that have welled up in my chest. Shit. I don't think I can forget our promise if she gives me a smile like that. I've returned to the mansion since it's the middle of the night. There's not a single light on out inside. The front door is unlocked. Oh no, I hope, like, nothing happened with the unlocked door. I'm sure it didn't, but you know. I let out a sigh of gratitude. I enter the mansion treading gingerly so as not to wake Akiho or Kohaku-san. I take a deep breath and sit on the bed. My body is absolutely exhausted, just as she said. I collapse onto the bed as though I were being sucked into it. Lying there, I let out a deep breath. I promised with Arcueid. Perhaps it was fate that led me down such a dangerous path once again. Or perhaps I didn't want her to do it alone. I didn't want to allow someone as miraculously beautiful as her, someone who isn't human, to have to. I'm acting like a fool. I already killed her with my own hands once. What am I getting so worked up about? I'm only lending her a hand with a vampire extermination to protect this city. If I don't, then some harm might befall me. So I have no choice but to cooperate. That's all. I close my eyes. I take off my glasses. I surrender myself to the enveloping hands of weariness and allow it to drag my body and consciousness down into the dark abyss of sleep. I've decided to help Arcueid out once more. For now, I'll clear my mind of anything unnecessary and prepare myself for tomorrow.
Just go sleep, Shiggy. This is true. This is true. It's okay, at least he's not like Kazuya from Rent a Girlfriend. 10 pages of him being a simp. I mean, a shrimp. Twitch, please, no. Eh? Why is this red? Oh no, wait, that's different. What? Eh? Hmm? Eh? That's spooky. Why is that red? Well, we all wrap up now. Let me just put my tracker back on. Ugh. Whew! I am. Oh, my back. My tracker is turning back on. Give me a second while I'm frozen. I am frozen, please. 1 second. Let's see. And with the press of a button, I begin to move. There we go. Wow. But yes, yeah, we'll start wrapping up here. Yeah, not bad. Nice little reading session. We got through 2 days. Very good. How long we go for? 3 hours? That's okay. I want to do about 3 hours. But yes, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a wonderful time. If it is night time for you, have a wonderful night. If it is morning for you, have a brilliant morning. I've been your host, Julius from Overheaton, and we've been experiencing Tsukihime. We'll probably continue next Friday. We'll see what we'll do. But yes, I hope you all enjoyed. In regards to next stream, probably be on Monday. So yes. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! Whoa! Oh, no. This is what Tsukihime chill music right now. Oh, yeah. Baba Booey Big Tsukihime.
Getting you.